Welcome back, everyone, to Beyond the Brick. This is episode 2 of our quarantine cast, where we try to bring you a few minutes, a few hours of entertainment here in your Tuesday afternoon while you're stuck at home. So I am Joshua Hanlon, and joining me once again is Brian Saviano, Brix O'Brien. You can see him there, and we've got a couple of different people who are with us today. So first off, Boone Langston, who many of you I'm sure have seen his videos here on Beyond the Brick, as well as his own channel. He's been doing a bunch of great live streams with the Lego Masters contestants. We've got a new episode of Lego Masters coming tomorrow night, right, Boone?
Yeah, now I suddenly feel like I'm on a late night show and have to plug a thing, which was not my intention at all when I clicked that link. But yep, tomorrow night, Star Wars, boom.
There we go. Star Wars, which is very appropriate for the other person we have joining us here, David Hall. I'm sure you're very excited. I was disappointed, David, when I didn't see you in the preview for this week's episode of Lego Masters, that there wasn't a surprise guest judge, and then you pop out Terry Crews style.
Oh, I know, right? That would have been really cool, actually. Should have brought me on as a consultant like they did with, who was that Lego designer they brought on for the show?
I think they work with a number of different designers. I don't know who all.
I'm sure there are. Justin Ramsden,
Nathan Sawaya. I think that's how you say.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he was there. We saw him from a distance. I saw Justin Ramsden at the casting finals. So yeah, they've got a number of people doing that stuff. But actually, I'm not allowed to say this, but David was in the C-3PO costume. So he actually was there.
Wow, that's real behind the scenes stuff right there.
Yeah, exactly. I have a really good Anthony Daniels impression.
Technically, you were on set.
Oh yeah.
Thank you to everyone joining us live on Facebook and YouTube here. Always appreciate it. As always, we'll do our best to keep an eye on the chat. If you've got questions for any of us at any time, we always try to keep an eye on that, so you can put those in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. But yeah, David, it's been a while since we chatted here, so I wanted to have you on and just get an update with kind of what's going on with your channel and how you've been surviving the quarantine at home.
Things have been all right, actually. My girlfriend Meredith, who I live with in my house, she's not doing well. She's used to a 9-to-5 job, and I'm used to staying at home because my job is at home most of the time. YouTube is like kind of a full-time thing for me, so it's not too crazy for me to stay at home most of the time. So it's not crazy in terms of adapting that way, but it is different having my girlfriend here the entire time, and she's definitely getting cabin fever. You can tell. She's like, I'm so bored. And I'm like, well, I got all this Lego we can sort. And then she immediately backs away.
I just saw you go in one of your recent videos. You were pointing out all the massive boxes that you have of Lego to sort.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. So the last video we did together was the crate thing back at Brick Fair, my crate mock. And so I still haven't fully sorted that mock yet.
I'm not surprised. That was a massive build. I imagine sorting that is quite the nightmare.
I've gotten through there was at least 6 large 30-gallon bins full of Lego from that mock, and I've gotten through 2 of the 4. So that should it's such an insane task. But I've also been sorting other Lego from other builds that I've also needed to really get done. So that's what I'm kind of doing to pass most of the time, honestly.
Same here. I've been working through a bunch of different sets and pieces, trying to put sets together from some. I talked about this on the last week's stream. Got some Craigslist, lots of sets I had bought that were all broken down in pieces. So I'm putting those together and slowly working through all of that stuff and trying to figure out what I have. So something I've been putting off for years, and this is a good time to do it now. Yeah,
no, definitely. I feel like I should make a YouTube video just encouraging people to sort, because this is the perfect time to do it.
Go for it.
Seize the opportunity. Boone, have you been sorting over there?
My wife has helped me sort for the first time ever in our almost 15 years of marriage.
Oh my gosh.
That's how you know the situation is truly dire.
Yeah, but then she had to go back to work virtually, so the sorting has slowed down a little bit. But
how is I know her school was doing a lot of stuff for Lego Masters, so have they been able to continue doing that online at all, or
No, not really. It was amazing because they watched like the first episode. They were going to do this whole big thing and have a contest and take bins of Lego around to all the classrooms to let all the kids, take their hand at some sort of challenge. And I was going to go to some big assembly when the whole thing was over and present somebody with some kind of award. And then they had the first assembly where they watched the first episode, and I popped in like the last 5 minutes and answered questions. And then, there was literally like never another day of school. So it all kind of came to a screeching halt. It's been weird. So they're just trying to figure out what the new normal is. Distance learning is sort of starting, with like teachers practicing with kids how things are going to work this week, and then next week things are supposed to be in full swing, completely learning online. So who knows? But
yeah, a new normal now for everybody.
Yeah, it's wild.
So Brian, I see you're active in the chat there. What are people saying? Anything we need to address right now?
Not at the moment. A lot of people want to hear, because I guess I didn't talk about it enough last time, the Super Mario news that came out earlier
There's been
today.
a lot of big news, so we can get everybody's thoughts on it, because a whole lot has come out in the last couple days here.
Oh yeah, I was just actually looking at the sets prior to this.
You don't want me to go on for another 3 hours. I don't think you want that, but I'll pace out my excitement this time. But there's a lot of Lego news in general, I believe. Not just Mario. There's some Star Wars news as well, which is rocking the Star Wars world, from what I've seen.
Some DC stuff too.
Yes,
the Wonder Woman stuff.
So I guess I don't know. You want to talk about anything specific?
Go ahead and why don't we launch in with your thoughts on the Mario stuff? Why not? Because I know people. I mean, obviously that stuff has been coming out. That's what people are really interested in. So let's just hit the main topic first here and see what your thoughts are, because I'm excited to hear what you have to say as the expert here.
Okay, so this is an entirely new thing that Lego is doing with the interactive big brick Mario. And having these play sets is something that is meant to bridge the gap between the technology and obviously the brick itself. And the technology behind it is pretty cool, regardless of how you feel about the contents of the set itself. I know a lot of people want the minifigure based Lego sets out of Mario. For what we have right here, it's really cool, and it is definitely in Nintendo's wheelhouse to do something weird and crazy. And so it is for Lego as well. So it's totally par for the course. And of what they announced that's new, the box, obviously, for the Mario set has been revealed. The price, the release date, etc. You can pre-order that right now on the Lego website as well as other retail sites. I haven't checked yet. But the newest is a new add-on kit for that's the starter course right here, as you're seeing, with that official Nintendo seal down in the bottom left.
I was going to say, isn't this box art kind of like Nintendo products? It seems is that what the Nintendo products kind of look like?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily. It has that seal down at the bottom, which is on every video game and every licensed product they have. It definitely combines the Lego aesthetic and the look, and it features the set prominently. Like, it's not too many digital renditions of, like you see a digital Mario from how he is in Mario 3D Land on the side, whatever. So he's on there, but it definitely is more Lego style than any other Nintendo thing I've seen. But $60, it's 200 some odd pieces. Obviously the price is in the brick. It's all in the brick and the technology, and that's just how it's going to be if you want to buy the set and use it with the other ones. The newest is the Piranha Plant, not swing, but like a system where he moves back and forth on the rail there, which is really cool. You get Koopa, Piranha Plants. That's a very supplementary set. I mean, I'm going to get all of them, so it's just another thing to add on to the credit card. And obviously the bigger attraction is Bowser's Castle, which you guys would know better than I do. Looking at the actual, the wide shot of the set itself, there's those castle, like old Harry Potter style. I don't know what you call them, but they're on the sides right there next to the Boo and the Dry Bones. Is that the first time we're seeing that in a long time, or has that been around?
I
don't remember.
I can't think of them in things much more recent than like sort of Knight's Kingdom, Harry Potter stuff. That was a number of years ago. I don't know if anyone in chat or
I'll go look.
Boone or David recognize those, but yeah, that's definitely kind of I always consider those kind of the older, like early 2000s Knight's Kingdom type of pieces.
I didn't even notice that till you pointed that out, actually.
Well, there we go.
So that's why we have Brian giving his in-depth analysis.
These are my it's going to be my wallpaper on my computer, my phone, my life. It's just going to be branded in my eyes. So I'm used to looking at them.
I was more focused. I'm like, oh man, we're getting some more dark bluish gray elbow tile pieces on the nose of the bigger Bowser behind him. I was like, oh man, more dark gray. I love that.
But it's really cool. I love the design, although like it's still implementing, how the sets are laid out, this modular design, but it fits the aesthetic of Mario, and Bowser has made that similar way too. Because even with Bowser, if he were to be a big fig at some point, would that necessarily capture the essence of Bowser? I think this does in the style that Mario is, and Dry Bones and all the characters in this very similar cube-like style, not quite chibi, but still cool looking. They're not quite in scale from Mario to Bowser, but Bowser would have to be huge and whatever. So I like them, but I'm incredibly biased. And I know a lot of people very much so looking for minifigure based sets. Will it happen? I would bet my life on it, but I don't know anything. So I think this is Lego showing off the cool technology, the new hotness, but then, just like everyone was looking for that, 501st Battle Pack, they're looking for the minifigure, Mario sets. So they know, they very much know that that's what people want. So
Brian, good eye. The panel 3x4x6 turret wall with window has not been in a set since 2014.
Ooh.
It was last in the Castle Calvary, which I'm pretty sure is what Nexo Knights.
Yes, just about that. I saw that and I thought classic Harry Potter. I'm like, I haven't seen that in a while. Huh.
Yeah.
But they have like individual, what almost looks like a QR code on the top of all the enemies' heads and weak points. That way you can scan them, and Mario makes different sound effects. Like, regardless of whether you're going to buy the set or not and how you feel about it, it's a cool technology, and what they're pulling off here is something that Lego hasn't done before. So from that standpoint in itself, I think it's doing a lot of new stuff, and that you have to acknowledge, at least on a Lego level, even if you don't like Nintendo.
Yeah, the Mario. So he's got, let's see, it's the eyes, the face, and then like the chest are all interactive, like electronic. Yeah.
So that's all one screen. I think it's all one screen that the plastic is covering up. So the eyes, like if you had to pull off, all of Mario, which someone's going to do, I would say it's all one screen. But I'm still curious what it's going to look like when it's off, or if the battery is going to default to just the standard eyes, because having Mario just have like this black void for eyes is going to be a little creepy. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they've shown any images of that. I don't know if somebody has asked it in an interview yet. I'd love to know that information, but I like it. I like the design style. It's very colorful, vivid as it should be. And this isn't everything they're coming out with. They worked together for 4 years on this? This is just the beginning, people.
Lots of exciting stuff. Otto in chat says the Bowser statue looks like it's from Mario Kart Wii Special Cup.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. Bowser's Castle has the same sort of aesthetic every time, different designs, but similar aesthetic. Basically, if there's a giant stone Bowser head, that's pretty much Bowser's Castle. So, yeah.
I can just imagine magma. I can imagine digging through like one of Angel's bulk tables at a convention in like 2030 and being like, "Oh, I just found a black-eyed Mario. This is rad."
He's got that dead look on him.
Yeah, right. And then I'll probably swoop in from nowhere and buy it because I want every single Mario that's in existence.
So Bowser's Castle is the biggest set so far, right?
So far.
Yeah, so far. There you go.
Yeah, I can't wait to have them all connected and put up in the background here. Hopefully it takes up so much room that I'm going to need to buy more shelving. So, and it looks like the arms do move, Brick Allen. There's a lot of play features in it. So I know that Bowser kind of shimmies forward when Mario is on the front platform there. So we haven't seen every single thing yet, but give it time. It comes out August 1st, at least for the starter pack. I would assume other things do as well, but I believe they just announced the starter pack for the first. Just got to be patient. We're not going anywhere. All right. We just got to sit and chill and see what happens.
I like it. I just saw Joseph Zawada in the chat here asks, I'll answer his question. So thanks for joining us, Joseph. Always great to have you with us. Hopefully we'll see you at a convention soon. Fingers crossed. He asks, Josh, as a history buff, is there a period of time that you would like to see more historic/military mocks based on? For Joseph, he'd like to see more French Revolution, which I could definitely get behind. We saw the collectible minifigure series had that like colonial soldier kind of Revolutionary War era. That guy looked great. So more of sort of that era of minifigures and sets would be really cool. I've always thought that a ancient sort of Greek or Roman line would be really amazing, and you could have some incredible Greek and Roman soldiers. We saw what they can do with the Roman soldiers in the collectible minifigures. Those are some of the most sought after from all of the minifigures that they've released in those series. Just really amazing looking soldiers. And so a whole series dedicated to ancient Greek or Roman sets, I think would be really amazing. And I think there'd be a large audience for that, in my opinion. I don't know what everyone else's thoughts on that is.
Well, there we go. So I'm excited for Mario. I'm excited for what is coming out for Lego in 2020 as a whole. It's a nice shining light in the sky that I think a lot of us need right now. So I'm excited, man. Very happy.
It gives you something to look forward to in these dark times.
I wake up every morning and I think, well, at least we got Lego Mario, man. At least we got that. Look, it's just beautiful. I don't know, man. It's just me.
This special shout out to John, who's acting as a producer for the show here and keeping all of the screen sharing going and playing all of these nice videos. So then I don't have to mess with it.
The untold hero, I would say.
This is just Mario magic. You don't have to explain the science behind Mario magic.
That's it. Exactly.
Oh, look at his eyes are so cool.
Right?
It's me, Mario.
Like there's some aspect of it being objectively cool, even if you're not a Mario fan. Like it's I don't know.
No, that's true. It's very different. I think everyone can appreciate when Lego kind of takes risks and experiments with other product types, combining sort of the electronics with the pieces, sort of like they did with the hidden side stuff with the phones and the way that it worked with. So things like that, I think you can definitely appreciate when they experiment and try other things.
Yeah, and who's to say this couldn't happen with something else too in another line,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Do you think this little sort of intelligent brick thing? What is there a name for it? Is it just?
No, it's not
Mario
quite.
brick?
Yeah, so it's not under boost or anything like that. It's got the same vibe, but I don't think they've given that technology specifically a name. But I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm just wondering will we see this little happy faced, blinking, smiling, talking brick appear as any other characters, or I wonder does Nintendo sort of have the lock on this particular Lego technology?
So I feel like it would be in the wheelhouse of. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility if Nintendo were like, all right, well, we want to do something unique and specifically tailored to us. But I also think it'd be in Lego's wheelhouse to be like, well, we don't want to just develop this technology just for one thing. It's very usually everything Lego does is pretty modular. That's the thing. You can combine things with other things. And then
Lego told Bugatti that they would not make any custom body elements for that car. And man, anyway,
I would like to think that same logic applies. I don't know if you would see that in like a Star Wars theme, or I think you would see it maybe in something more experimental, like with Hidden Side combined with the app. But there is an app that goes along with all of this as well. That's important to note too. So combining the digital video game efforts from Nintendo with the physical brick, I think Lego is going to combine it. I don't know with what, but I don't think they're going to let the technology go to waste.
Well, I just hope there's a Tanuki suit in Wave 2.
You're gonna get everything, Booth. Everything. You're gonna get Wedding Suit Mario, Mario 64 outfit. That's just a pipe dream. But that's just
what is the most obscure thing, Brian? Actually, everybody, anyone can answer this. What, like, the most obscure Mario related item that you'd like to see? Like, maybe it's something you don't think they'd make, but it's something cool that's not as well known.
the frog suit.
Oh.
No idea what that is.
The frog suit hasn't been around for a long time.
He just told you it's the
Is that
frog
the one
suit.
when Mario swims like underwater and uses that?
Right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That would probably be it for me.
That does sound cool. I'll have to find a photo of that.
They found a way to implement all the new suits and ideas into the newer games too. And there's rumor of them coming out with remasters of Mario 64, Sunshine and Galaxy, which is going to bring even more awareness to those older games. So, man, it's a good time to be me. So I'm excited. I'm very excited.
The plant thing, or the one with the rail where he goes back and forth, is that? I mean, I obviously am no Mario expert. Is that an element from the game?
No, not at all. Yeah. No, they're taking some creative liberties here, which obviously makes sense. But that's just Lego having fun.
Yeah, I didn't think that looked familiar from any particular sort of Mario game I had seen before.
No, David, you don't look too enthused. What are your thoughts?
Well, so I actually interviewed the guy in this video. I forget he's not a designer. He's actually the person that led the technology for the little Mario guy. And let's see, I want to say it was like 3 weeks ago when I interviewed him. I think it was at the beginning of March, but at the time he wasn't really saying much. I was really pressing him for questions, and Lego was making sure, like, there was a moderator from Lego also in the Skype chat when I was talking to him, like, just like waiting for like me to bring up a controversial question. But I'd say the biggest takeaway that I thought was the most interesting thing is that, like you said, Brian, is that Lego and Nintendo have been working together for 4 years on this, which is pretty insane. And something I actually got out of the guy when I was interviewing him was that Nintendo was in favor of just making classic minifigure regular base sets, and Lego was actually the ones pushing for this technology, pushing for that, the brick that you see there with all the, the LCD panel and all that, and all those technological functions. Nintendo is actually apparently apprehensive about it because, like, oh, hey, that's what we do all the time is making, like, technology. We make video games and stuff like that. We like to just build regular Lego sets. So I don't know. It'd be interesting. I mean, rumor has it that they are going to have regular minifigure scale Mario sets. But I did think that was probably the most interesting thing, is that Nintendo themselves just want regular Lego sets, and Lego themselves are pushing for this new version of, like, the Lego system with this technology integrated with it.
Let me tell you, Nintendo always gets what they want. So I think they're going to get those classic minifigure sets. And yeah, that does surprise me, though, because it's not out of the wheelhouse for them to be like, well, let's just do something crazy for the sake of it, But I'm glad that they came to this, and it's unique for sure.
Andy Lewis says in chat, I need to come earlier in live streams. That's right. So we're every Tuesday at 1 p.m. we start our quarantine cast here, folks. So if you're just joining now, you can make sure to tune in from the very beginning. Every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time here in the U.S. is when we start. But thank you once again to everyone who's joined us, both on Facebook and YouTube. In the live chat, I'll briefly mention who we've got with us here. We've got Brix O'Brien. We've got Boone Langston from Boone Builds, and then David Hall from Solid Brix Studios, and then Mike from the Cool Factor was here. I think he had to leave, but he'll be back in a few minutes.
He evaporated
his orange chair.
He's become a seat.
So yeah, we're just chatting about Mario and predictions on future sets, getting some updates from David. So I know, David, I think you're coming to the end of one of your large builds here relatively soon, correct? I know you've been doing those updates. So what's the latest you can tell people on that?
Yeah, so I'm making the Star Wars planet Mandalore, which is pretty relevant to what's going on right now. Obviously, we got the Mandalorian TV show that just finished up back in late December of last year. And right now, Star Wars is having the Clone Wars show come back on Disney Plus, and we're literally next week entering the finale of that show. So it's like the final season, final episodes of the show that will ever be made. And so there's a lot of hype for Star Wars around that. And so the planet I've been building is actually basically it times it perfectly with the conclusion of this Clone Wars TV show on Disney Plus, because it's all taking place on this Mandalore planet. And it's the same planet the Mandalorian, I guess, bounty hunter from the TV show is also from. So I am really, really excited to finish it up. It has been quite a build. I want to say it's definitely about to hit the 100,000 piece mark for sure. It is. I've been working on it since August now, and it's pretty crazy how big it's gotten. I think it's 4x7 gray base plates. So it's
how does that compare in size to like the crate build?
Yeah, and it's also one of my tallest builds. I don't know if it's as tall as crate or not. That'd be an interesting thing, but it's huge. It's very intensive. I've never built so. It's a giant city, and it's something I've never really built that way. I've always been building I've built like a forest environment from Kashyyyk. I've built Crate, which was this big snow and mountain biome, and then Scarif, which was basically the West Indies palm beaches and stuff like that. So this was completely different, building like a huge gray and blue city. And I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to finishing it.
I commend your level of patience and effort you put into all of these builds. You have the mindset and like level of planning that I wish I had about anything in my life. Like the way the scale and everything. Like I just watch and I'm like, how does he do this? Why does he do this? What? So good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think you are one of the most dedicated mock builders out there. I think together with Rich Boy J and a few other guys. But
oh yeah,
your mocks are like I just gaze over them.
What number mock is this on this massive scale?
This is my 4th large scale mock. So yeah,
are you sick of it yet?
I was thinking once I finish this, I'm really tempted to dabble into smaller scale mocks, and small for me is like under 4 base plates. So cool. I'm kind of tempted to scale it back and just try to make more smaller ones over the next couple months. But I'm not. At the same time, there is something special about building something huge, and when you finally get to finishing that project over, might take a year, might take less than a year, depends. But when you do get to that end point, there's this reward. There's this almost like a curtain that just opens, and you're like, wow, look at how cool this is.
So I appreciate that you, as a Star Wars mock builder, don't do just ships. You do environments and locations as well. I really appreciate that, because I see so many sets and so many mocks of ships, because that's a lot of what Star Wars is the ships, but the environments I feel don't get as much attention. So I'm glad that you're one of the few people that takes it on that big of a scale and goes all out with the lights and the figures and everything. So that's what I like about what you do too, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the thing though, is pretty much almost all of the Star Wars sets we get nowadays are ships. It's rare to get a set that's like an actual environment.
And if you do, it's like a $30 set. That's
and it's never big enough. I can't even remember the last time we got a nice environmental set that was. I think it was probably almost the Ewok Village, that $300 set we got years ago. But basically, when I get all these sets, and you can kind of see them behind me too, I'm like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to actually build the world they're supposed to be in out of Lego? And so that's kind of been my thing over the last couple of years, and it's turning out to be very successful. So I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, people really appreciate the work you put in. I think the video we made with you with your crate from last year's Brick Fair is over 1 million views.
I know. So, yeah, people really happy about that.
People definitely appreciate the time and effort you put into those, and it's great to see the update videos you do. So for anyone who joined us on YouTube or Facebook, maybe who hasn't seen David's videos, you can check those out at Solid Brix Studios is his channel, and it's every week, right? Do you try to do a video?
Yeah. This previous week, I skipped a week. This is the first time I actually skipped a week, I think, in months. But hold on, I'll grab you why. I'll grab a bag of
And John has been screen sharing here some of David's videos. So these are a look at kind of how he does the updates here and shows the progress on the build. And so I don't know, is this your most recent one or?
Yeah, so that's probably my recent one. But you can see in the back there, you can see all that red and all those horrible I guess filler brick, I guess you could call it. So this is what I was waiting on this week. I got this humongous Bricklink order of this massive bag of panels. This has become my new favorite piece, are panels, because they're so much cheaper than buying bricks. But yeah, I think there's 1,000 of these panel pieces that I'm going to try to cover all that filler brick up with on the backside of what I've been building.
I have a question for you, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you ever consider using Duplo bricks for the big parts?
So I've looked into the Duplo bricks, and like, to me, they're really expensive actually. And it's actually, I think I saw like a normal 2x4 Duplo size brick is like, I was seeing like new, it was like 45 to 50 cents. And I'm like, and the amount of 2x4 bricks or regular bricks I could get at a Lego store would be, I think, cheaper than buying Duplo bricks. And then at the same time, I could use those bricks more than I could use the Duplo bricks. So yeah, that's how I kind of justified not using the Duplo stuff.
Gotcha. Thanks. Yeah, I heard a lot of people actually witnessed some mocks for the structural base behind like a big mountain or something to use Duplos for the structural support. I wonder how many people do that.
I think it's like, I mean, the people who I've seen that have the Duplo bricks are usually like, they got it when it was much cheaper, and when they actually were making sets with a lot of the Duplo sets nowadays don't even have many of the actual bricks. They're usually just a bunch of special parts nowadays.
Right.
So they're actually, that's why the cost of Duplo bricks, just normal bricks, have gone up so much, is because Lego has kind of scaled back on making those.
I didn't realize those were so expensive. Wow.
Yeah, I know. If you go on Bricklink, you'd be shocked. And even on eBay, they're just as expensive. And then people are like, oh, why don't you use like, a knockoff Duplo brick or knockoff Lego part? I'm like, no. I'm genuine here, guys.
Shout out to Boone, our Pokemon expert in the chat. Keep going. I never knew Boone was such a fan.
I was just trying to engage the questions about Pokemon in there, and I started throwing out names of Pokemon, and I got to like 3 and realized that was all I knew. And except I was trying to say anything but Pikachu. And but then what I did prove was that I knew at least the first 4 lines of the original theme song from the TV show, because that's something I would know.
They should build. So I think that's what started the conversation.
Yeah. E-Logger official asked, and then now they've asked if I can sing the Pokemon intro. I can, but I won't.
You should.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my greatest test. To train them is my cause. Okay, now hold on a second. We're going to go on just a quick tangent. I really want to take, what's the song? I want to be the very best. Can't you hear that like as a mashup?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
I can't get this out of my head now.
This live stream is no longer about Lego. We're singing about classic rock and Pokemon. I mean, talking
for that podcast too. That's fine.
Yeah. Brian,
I'm sorry.
Transition over to that one as well.
When I mute myself for too long, I just explode with randomness that can't be pent up. All right, back to you.
And a copyright claim.
And stricken down.
And now for something completely different, and then we just have Boone unmute his mic and something.
Thanks, everybody. It's been great. I'll see you later.
Tune into Lego Masters next week. I'll see you then.
But yeah, David, it's great to see the progress on the build there. So when do you think you'll have like the finale video?
Hold on, I really feel like I should apologize to David. David, I'm sorry.
You're fine. I enjoyed your singing, man. It's cool to have it like
giving the spotlight.
I'm really impressed by your mock, and I look forward to seeing the finished result. I'm serious.
Dude, thank you for coming on the live stream last night. He was on my live stream where I was building Voltron. Were you listening to it the whole time?
No, I was bouncing in and out. You know,
Okay.
like I bounced out for dinner, and then we went and rode bikes. And you were on long enough that I just kept being able to come back and sort of check in with where you were at in the process. So it was fun. Thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't watch the whole time.
No, I'm
But
glad
it was great. It was great.
That was really cool.
Great stream. Your lighting is incredible. I was watching, you know, I'm thinking about like, how do I get that camera placement where I can see my table and myself without feeling like I look weird and have good lighting and all that. So anyway, it looked great.
Yeah, awesome. Are you talking about the shelf lighting behind me? These?
Well, no, that's cool too. But like, I just feel like, well, yeah, it's all part of the package. Like, but wherever you had your camera set up last night for the table and you, like, you're lit really well.
Mm-hmm.
The you know, it's a different angle on the shelves, so the lighting on the shelves looks like really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was all great. I just thought it was good. And
thank you. I've been trying to perfect this setup since I moved into this house last year, and it's taken like, I want to say like 7 months before I kind of got it where I want it to be.
I think David is using like a soft light, right? You're using like a big dome from like
so I have
one of the Godox lights, or I think I remember you said some.
I'm using I have a giant softbox and like a cheap $130 LED light I got off Amazon on some big stands. The only thing with these giant soft lights is that they take up a lot of space. And I know I'm looking at all of you guys' rooms. I think all of you are tight on space, which is like fine. I think everybody
I'm clumped here, too. For sure.
But the thing I've been seeing a lot of streamers use now, Elgato makes a product on, I think they sell it on Amazon, and it's
Streamlight.
It's a really thin, soft panel light. Yeah,
it's good,
and you can put that on either side of your table, and you won't get the exact effect, but it's like so similar that not many people are going to care. So I'd say, like, if you guys are tight on space, like those thin panel LED lights that Elgato makes, and they're important that you get those because they actually are softened light. That's the difference between those harsh LEDs with the actual little dots. You can actually see those.
Yeah, if you look at me right now, I have two small soft boxes, but I think I have to tone down like 10% right now because in daylight I have some daylight from the window and like really blows me over. So yeah, Boone, so the answer for you, Boone, is like soft light. Soft light is the answer, like big soft light.
Yeah.
Now I have
don't know
to
how
like
much space you have in front of you, Ben.
Nothing. Like, I honestly, there's my table and there's like a meter behind the camera, and that's it. So I have to have close lights really close to me, and I don't have space for this like big octagonal like soft box that you use, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm gonna invest in what you said, that either Elgato makes the soft panels, and a lot of companies do like a soft pre-diffused LED light. So that's a good idea. The ones I have are like super cheap. I purchased like a year ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's time for an upgrade because it blows me a lot if I expose too much on the setup. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got plenty of room over there, but it's like the laundry room. So setting stuff up over there in you know, it doesn't get to stay up, you know. So I just default to like what I can leave up all the time. But I also, you know, during the day, I do a lot of my filming at night, so that these windows back here aren't a problem. But I need to block them out from the outside. I used to have like a black garbage bag on the outside over here, and then I was like across the street one day, and I'm like, oh, that looks so bad.
I just have these weird, I don't even know what they are, but like I think you can get them at Home Depot. But they're just they block most of the light out, and they work very well. They're in the windowsill, so they don't take up too much room outside of it. Yeah. But they work pretty well because I also have a giant window right next to me, and I try to get rid of that so it doesn't blow me out.
Now I like reduce this by 15%, so I think I should look better. I'm not like a white pale guy again. I think it's much better now, but still, like, the soft light is the answer.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to How to Light Your Live Stream.
I honestly want to make
good knowledge
about that, but I know so many people don't care.
It's good knowledge.
You can deal with it.
I need to know
insider information.
People find it interesting because there's so many people that do live streams, so it's interesting to see what the behind the scenes, like what goes into it. And then there's always a lot of people wanting to do their own stuff as well, so it's good to get information from people who have actually done it and have experimented with this stuff and figured out what works and what doesn't.
Well, actually, hold on, one other thing, Boone, to answer your question about the look I go for. Hold on.
David, it's just show and tell with David and his lighting equipment.
Oh, I know.
How to make Lego videos with David Hall.
But I'm not getting paid or anything. But this little module right here, this little thing, this is the key right here, because this allows you to use any camcorder or DSLR camera, and then you can get like the wide angle, like sharp, very nice looking video. So this is my little special cable that goes right into the computer, and it works just like a webcam. And I just leave the camera on.
That's so
You should
funny.
get
My
sponsored by
buddy,
Elgato now.
my friend Jason just last week was talking to me about live streaming because he was trying to get somebody else going, and he didn't know a whole lot about it, and he was reaching out to me because he'd seen me live stream, and he couldn't get his hands on a webcam because everyone is buying them right now. But he was able to go to Best Buy and buy one of those, and he had a DSLR, and I'm like, oh, I need to get myself one of those. I used to use a piece of software that sort of turned my Canon DSLR into a webcam, but I wasn't happy with. I wasn't happy with the quality. Yeah,
they just don't work as well.
Yeah.
We just got one of those cables actually last week. That's what we're using right now. So we now hook the camcorder that we use at shows up to that, and yeah, it's much better. The video, the just webcam we were using did not look nearly as good.
Yeah, no, and I've had this Cam Link thing for 6 months now and hasn't failed me once. So I'm really happy with it.
Yeah,
I gotta get one.
Yeah, no, it's worth. I think it's like $100, which is pricey, but I mean, if you're gonna do streams a lot, I think it's worth it.
Absolutely, yeah.
John said when he bought that cable last week, he thought they were sold out everywhere, and I think they were on Amazon and stuff. But he went to the website of the company that makes it, and they were actually able to. They still had them in stock, and
there you go,
able to get it there.
There you go. But yeah, that's wide angle lens on a DSLR camera with this Cam Link thing, and then you get a Blue Yeti microphone. You're set up, and like you could probably do that entire setup if you get the camera used. You could probably be under $300, which I know sounds expensive, but it's totally worth it if you really want to take live stream.
I mean, for people who are really like creating content, and even so, like another functionality of this is you can record to your computer via OBS. You can actually just record whatever you record on your studio without using a memory card if you want to. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Sorry, we should probably get back to Lego.
Stream sponsored by Elgato.
This is a good question from someone joining us on Facebook. So they asked, Heidi asked, do any of you supplement your builds with non-name brand Lego bricks, or am I the only one who can't afford to buy name brand all the time? So David, we can start with you on this. So is that something that just?
I'll answer for David. He's actually David's actually really into Mega Blocks. I heard him say it last night.
It's Mega Construct.
That's true. There is a YouTuber I found the other day called Brickman117, who is a Mega Blocks YouTuber. One of the first who I've seen who's actually, he even calls, this is the first time where I've seen a Mega Blocks builder call their own creations mocks as well. So it's a term that's actually going beyond just the Lego community now, apparently. And actually Mega Blocks communities are picking that up too. Which I know there's probably everybody out there hates Mega Blocks, and that, if you hate it, that's fine. But there are certain themes Mega Blocks has that are, I wish Lego would make. Halo included.
Pokemon, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, and anyhow, this YouTuber, he built this like 20,000 piece Mega Blocks mock from Halo, and it was just massive, and it blew my mind. I was like, wow, you can actually make stuff with Mega Blocks. It's not just crappy bricks or anything. So I was actually really impressed by that. I mean, obviously, I'm a Lego builder, always will be a Lego builder, but I still appreciate other stuff like that.
But you don't actually use any in your builds.
Don't use any. No, it's all Lego behind me.
I certainly do not. It's weird because, similar to David, I've seen some things that make me, in the last couple of years have an appreciation for Mega Blocks that I did not previously have. But there's this corner, so there's a garage door right over here, and right outside the garage door there are the like garbage cans, like the big green garbage cans that the garbage service comes and picks up. And when I'm sitting here building and I come across a piece like, from a yard sale, bulk or whatever, if I come across a piece that's not Lego, I just throw it over to that corner of the garage door, and eventually it makes it out into the driveway, and eventually it makes it into that garbage can, and eventually the service comes and takes it away. That's pretty much what happens. Now, I do sometimes use like lights, that are not Lego. Although even then, I really enjoy, a what do you call it, a pure approach to creative things like lights and movement and all that. But and sometimes like I'll make my own stickers if I am really compelled to like do something like that. But for the most part, I'm fairly purist.
Yeah, I guess I also use the lights too. I use light my bricks now. I used to use brick stuff. I still have brick stuff. But I think that's like, I think the whole community is okay with like using non-Lego lights, because we all know the power function lights are pretty weak.
They're not as usable with a lot of different situations. Like there's so many more things you can use the custom lights for.
Oh yeah.
I do, for me, a lot of it comes down to like the creative process, right? And if I have a compelling thing that I want to do with lights and I think it sounds fun to like, wire up some lights and program an Arduino, then that to me is an extension of the creative process, right? Or like, if designing my own graphics to put on my own stickers, to put on my mocks, if I have a compelling reason to do that, then that's just a way to sort of further the creativity for me. So I sort of think of that as like, just part of it. But I don't know. I guess there was not a flip side to that. It's just sort of more of, for me, it's all about getting the ideas out of my head and into something in the real world. So any way I can do that, I'm pretty good with, but I don't tend to use off-brand elements.
For me, it was when we first visited Jiang at his house. That was definitely gave me a bigger appreciation for some of the other brands. So he has like his entire Halo room.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All Mega Blocks. If people haven't seen that video, you should check it out, because he probably has like the largest Halo Mega Blocks collection of anyone in the world or something like that. He also has like exclusive artwork and all sorts of crazy stuff that he has in there. So it's a lot of cool stuff.
I wish Jiang was more active in the community, because I feel like if I ever met him, we could talk about like not just Lego, but like again things like that, Halo and.
Is Jiang still doing like Halo content? Because he has a full Halo room. I think he turned it down for the new studio.
I don't know if he ended up tearing it down. I think he said he was going to, and then he decided to just use his studio where he like shot reviews and do that instead. So I think he actually kept it around last I heard from him.
Okay. I think I saw a comment from him at some point that he had to take the room down to make more space for the new format of his content. I wonder if that's true.
Joshua, do you know if Jiang's ever gone to a Lego convention?
No, I don't think so. Every time we visited, or like when Boone was out there, we tried to encourage him to go to Bricks by the Bay, which is the closest show to him there. And so far, I don't think he's shown up.
Really?
Yeah, we would love to. We always try to push him to go out and do more stuff. And I don't know, now he's switched up his content and he's shown himself in videos a lot more. So maybe he'll be more open.
Yeah.
In the future, that'd be really cool.
He's a very interesting YouTube person, I would say. He's the biggest, one of the biggest, and at the same time he keeps it very low lying, I would say. Like, he just like focuses on his content, but yeah, he's not very outgoing, is he?
Yeah, he just likes to. I think he's so focused on creating videos most of the time. Is the impression I got. I don't know, Boone, what was your impression of Jiang when you visited?
Jiang is one of the, I don't know, I think he's one of the most interesting people I've met. He's such an he couldn't, I think about like what I do and I think about what he does, and he couldn't have done what he's done if he was as interested in going and being with people as often as I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So it's hard to, man. I smile when the conversation of Jiang comes up, because he's such an interesting guy to me, and I don't know. I'll always consider it one of the how do I say, what's the right word? I'll always consider it one of like the gifts of my life that I got to meet that guy. But
so what you're saying is we have to have him on the show next week.
We should have Jiang for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if he will. You know what I mean? But he's just incredibly thoughtful, and he's very kind, but he's reserved, and he is, I think he's, I don't know, you put that thoughtfulness with kind of a crazy way to earn your living or create a livelihood, and it's you end up with a very interesting thing. And I keep saying the word interesting, and I mean it in absolutely the best way possible.
He comes out like very genuine in his videos. I like his personality. Like he really like pours his personality into whatever he's talking about into his videos, and like that that shows he's not trying to be like flashy or anything. He just is the way it is, and that really sells his channel and his opinions. And I think that's one of the main reasons I enjoy his content so much, because like how calm he is about Lego, we can get excited, but he's like very up to the point and very knowledgeable at the same time, because he has a background in toy industry a lot. So I think
he's not going to be easily influenced, right? Like if he's pivoting, or if he has an opinion, he's sure of it. You know what I mean? Or at least he knows he has to pivot. Yeah, I don't know.
Here's the money shot with Jiang's dog and Boone.
I think he likes you, Boone. Or is it she?
I look like such a slob on that couch.
You look fine. The dog is the highlight of that shot anyways. We all know it.
There we go.
That's the only couch that you're allowed to interview Jiang on. You can't do it anywhere else.
Did you interview him on that couch?
Yes.
Yeah. There was this. He's got a crazy Playmobil collection too. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen any of his Playmobil stuff.
Yeah, it's a Playmobil.
It was hanging out with Jiang that really opened me up to the possibilities of some of the other like the Halo Mega Bloks and Playmobil. I think he really approaches that seriously, not like most Lego fans just kind of laugh it off or whatever, but he actually kind of has a more serious approach to some of those things and recognizes some of the possibilities there.
Yeah,
because he is interested in toy stuff like that in general.
He's a toy guy. Like, doesn't he have like a background in toy marketing? Actually, didn't he work professionally as like a toy marketer or something?
He might have. I'm trying to remember now.
I know he mentioned it at some point in time. So his knowledge. Yeah.
I need to move around my garage here and like find some things. Do you want me to sign off, or is it okay if I'm?
No, you're good. Yeah.
I'm not on camera for a few minutes.
As long as you have pants, you're fine.
Well, I mean, in the age of the quarantine, working from home, anything.
Yeah, but yeah, Jiang, I think, has said he wants to do more live streams on his channel coming soon. So maybe we could get him on here. Definitely going to be trying to do that. It'd be awesome if it'd be awesome.
He needs to do more live streaming on this channel, not his channel.
By the way, Joshua, congratulations! You guys are about to hit what? 700,000 subscribers.
Yes, oh yeah, we're like any day now going to pass 700,000.
That's crazy, man. You're on your way to 1 million.
Yeah, it's been growing really well. I think at this rate we'll hit 1 million about middle of next year probably, with the rate we've been growing. So it's been great. Thank you to everyone who subscribes. Anyone watching live right now, we appreciate it. It's always nice. Sorry we don't have the normal daily videos going out right now. We're trying to do as much content as we can, but hopefully the shows will pick up back soon, and we can have the daily content going out to everyone.
Subscribe to Be on the Brick right now.
So Joshua, I saw your interview. I guess is with Mark. Is that his name for Brick World?
Yep, Mark Larson.
I am shocked. I was watching the video. I'm like, they're doing a virtual Lego convention. What? Yeah. Like, I'm intrigued, but also like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. The logistics of that is pretty crazy. So I mean, I hope it goes well for him. I don't think anyone's really tried that before. He's gonna have a bunch of Zoom rooms open. It's $5 for anyone who wants more info. Like David mentioned, I just yesterday did a more in-depth interview with Mark, so he kind of explains exactly how it all works and the details of that. And you can go to the brickworld.com website as well. But he's trying that. I think there's been the Brick World shows have been delayed, the Indianapolis one, and now the Chicago one is obviously still up in the air, and we'll see what happens. But he's just trying to see what he can do to give people some content, as well as, you know, bring in a little bit of money to help keep Brick World going, because obviously those shows cost a lot to run, and he needs some money coming in at some point here if the shows are going to continue.
Got you.
Shout out to Mr. Hinkle in the chat.
Is that my boy Kevin? What up, Kevin? I haven't
Kevin
heard from you in a
Hinkle.
while.
We got a rare Mr. Hinkle draws. Go check out his
A wild Mr. Hinkle appears.
Just bought a bunch of stickers from Kevin recently. They're super cool. I don't have any to show right now because we put them on the sticker wall here. But everyone should go check those out because they're very cool. And then also, Brian, I forgot about Brian's shirt as well.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, Kevin, he has plenty of support. He's overrated. It's not like I'm wearing one of his shirts right now.
Kevin, I'm waiting for this Lego Star Wars.
How do I
themed
get
shirt.
one?
You get one by buying it, like I did,
Of
like
course.
a good Samaritan.
And where would you go to buy it? Should
You
we
would
say?
go to afallshirts.com where Kevin gets, I believe, 50% of
Hold
all
on.
sales.
Hold
There you
on.
go. A wonderful
I just
shout
gotta
out.
say, did you said Mike asked, "How do I get one?" And Brian said, "You get one by buying one, like I did, like a Good Samaritan." Except the Good Samaritan paid for the other guy's hotel room, so I think it's a little bit of a mixed metaphor. I'm sorry, I just had to point that out. I think it means Brian needs to buy Mike a shirt.
Mike,
I
what
mean-
are you doing? Are you writing down something? I see a notebook in front of you.
Oh, actually, this is like those are the notes for the Mario sets because I was about to prepare a video today. As I just saw all the unveilings today, and I joined you guys, so I just had some notes to see. Probably I'm gonna record it later on, like
Got you.
afternoon.
All
Yep.
you need to put is that it's awesome in one title on the screen, and then you're done. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. No, there's like a lot of stuff because you guys talked before I joined, and there's like the starter set, the expansion packs, and I think one of the stores offers like a mini poly bag as well. So that's pretty awesome. There's a lot of stuff about Mario, so I had to make notes.
For
There is, yeah.
anyone who may be half curious, I'm working on the Ideas Dinosaurs set. So you see me with my head down. It's not because I'm not paying attention. It's because I'm very much so focusing on this. I built the Pteranodon.
How do you like it so far?
I'm liking it. I appreciate that. Although it's all dinosaur bones, and obviously dinosaur bones are white or off white. That the whole build is not all white. Similar to Steamboat Willie, where the insides were multicolor, like the base of the Triceratops is like color. It's not just all black and white, everything. So it's looking good.
Nice. And where can we see the review?
Not for me. I'm just gonna talk about it here.
This is a live stream exclusive.
Yes, it is. I like to focus any brick thing I do. Although my name is Brix O'Brien, I'll just do it on Beyond the Brick. Save that energy up inside me. So,
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brian, we had let's see, was it OW Nimba says, as a follower of Brian, I just subscribed to Beyond the Brick. Thank you. You know, we're always hopefully we're very welcoming to Brian's fans as well. If anyone's joining because he's here, so welcome aboard. We hope you enjoy yourself.
that's Michelle. She's one of the marketing gurus that helps me get my act together. So she's good woman over there. So yeah, the people popping over from any of my neck of the woods, thank you so much for being here. I don't cover as much Lego stuff as of recently, but Beyond the Brick is a great a channel with great people, tremendous people, lovely people, and you may end up seeing more of me whether you like it or not. So get ready, internet.
That's right. Prepare yourself.
That's all you can do. It's 2020.
Seems like we all have fans. There is PD Bricks Films. I subscribe because of Boone, and there is my lovely fan Django's Got a Mango. I'm here for Mike, to be honest. Thank you.
Actually, the only reason we
Nice.
have anyone else on the live stream is just to try to
right,
get
to boost off the other audience. Right,
Not
right.
because I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
any of you here.
So if
Right.
any of my subscribers is here, please fix the mistake and subscribe to Beyond the Brick as well,
There we
please.
go.
Thank you.
Let's all just be one happy community.
We
There's no
are.
pride,
We
there's
are
no-
a very happy community.
Let's all just combine all the revenues, go one big channel, one giant glob of brick, and just go with it from there.
And David escaped because we just plug ourselves in.
I was setting up the camera to surprise Boone.
What's that?
I was setting up the camera, my other camera, to surprise Boone to switch it here.
By the way, you should subscribe to David as well, who's not yet.
There we go. All right,
There
so
we go.
now you have the wider.
Oh,
There
see,
you
so
go.
that's the look. That's the
See,
look.
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
The laptop should be over a little bit, but I need to look at you guys.
Oh, David's showing us up now. Okay, that's enough.
Show off.
So,
He has the fanciest camera of all of us.
what camera are you running there, David?
Oh god,
EOS R.
yeah, it's the EOS R, which
Beautiful
is a
camera.
very
I
expensive
love it.
camera.
Oh, okay.
But to be fair, this camera it's overkill for YouTube and for what I do. But I also do like corporate videography and
Right,
wedding videography outside of this as one of my other jobs. So it was an
EOS R is on my bucket list. I still want to get it, but I'm thinking between this one or the Sony A7 III. I use A7 IIIs at my normal day work, so these are great.
Yeah, no, that's a good camera too. The Sony are also. I feel like it's just Sony or Canon at this point. If you're
yeah, for the full frame, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hinkle had a nice comment about everyone subscribing to the channels, but who's been here since the A Look at Lego days?
Yeah, I can actually say I have. I remember I was on the podcast.
David was around back then.
We get it, Kevin. You're old. We know.
Oh my god, I don't even want to go back and listen to that episode.
Neither do I. I tried.
That means you just got to record a new episode, remastered.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of cringeworthy entertainment from the early years of Beyond the Brick.
And if you want some cringe,
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Exactly.
No idea what we were doing, but there was a lot of heart in it. That's all I can say.
Can
that's all that
John
matters.
in the back? Can John in the back please bring up some of the first Beyond the Brick videos, please, so we can have some laugh at Joshua, please? Thank
John
you.
has been banned from ever showing the first 2 years. Yeah, it's still all out there though. So people want to see it. We don't take any of that down. Actually, even the audio episodes are still available. If you go to the about section on our YouTube channel, there's a link to the podcast network where we first aired all of those original Look at Lego audio only episodes. And there's some interesting guests in there. Tyler Kleitz, Lego Masters, coming up here. He was one of our first people we interviewed, both on the audio show as well as the when we went to video and Google Hangouts. So,
but, hard work pays off. Look where we are now, almost 700,000 subscribers. Here we are.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. Yeah. Congrats.
And at the moment, I didn't realize. You never realize how bad it is in the moment. It's only like 5+ years later that you look back and you realize it.
But you know what? That's a good thing. If you can look back on your old self and see how much you've improved and gotten better over time and more articulate you are, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that, then what are you doing?
I have this rule, try to work on something that benefits what you love every day. So if that's your channel, try to do little small, simple improvements every day, be it on your Instagram or be it on your Facebook. Anything you do every day, just try to make something new and improve. So I think that's a good guideline to follow if anybody feels about starting a YouTube channel at this point.
That's right. As Kevin pointed out, we also interviewed the Kevin Henkel guy, as he likes to remind me, as I very badly mispronounced his last name the first time we ever had him on the show in one of the early episodes.
How did you pronounce it? Hinckley?
It was like or
Hinckley.
Kevin Hunkle?
Kevin Uncle.
Joshua, I remember Kevin was probably one of your biggest advocators back in the day. He was always at the conventions have you heard of Beyond the Brick?
Yes, Kevin has been amazing. We appreciate the relationship we've had for Kevin. So we met him at the first convention we ever went to. It was Brick World Chicago. He was there as a representative. He was still pretty early on in his job as a Lego community representative back then. He'd only been at it for maybe a year or something, I want to say. He can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong there. But yeah, it was great to meet him there. And he was very, very supportive from the beginning and agreed to come on the show. And that's when we had him on the audio only podcast for the first time. And then would see him at shows, do different things, and have him back on the podcast occasionally for different stuff. So yeah, it's been amazing. We always appreciate what Kevin's done. We had him on our our 500,000 subscriber live stream last year. He joined us and talked about some of the different stuff we've done over the years. Here's a really early video. This, I think, is from that show that I mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, that the first Brick World Chicago.
Oh my God.
You can see our mic there. That's actually pieces of paper printed out, that logo, and then we taped them on with black electrical tape around the mic to make that, because that was before we had anything printed.
You gotta work with what you have.
That's right. So, we were really scraping things together back then. But yeah, that was a fun time. So if this looks weird to people who are familiar with Brick World, that's because this was the last year at the old location. So they were at a different hotel than where they go now. And so this room, it was actually broken up into like 3 or 4 different rooms, I want to say. It was a weird setup.
That's how Brick Fair was before they went to the convention center too. They were also in a hotel.
Right, exactly. So yeah, some of these shows when they were first starting out, obviously they were smaller and they just got what they could afford and dealt with that. But yeah, so that's why that room looks weird there. I forget what the name of the hotel was, but it was the first year we went to Brick World was the last year where it was at the old location. And we just showed up as public attendees, just walked in. I had never been to a show before. All we had done was some audio interviews online and just started talking to people. We recorded a GBC for the first time ever there, and that video was very popular and spawned our continued coverage of GBC around the world, Great Ball Contraption videos for people who don't know what that is. So that video doing really well is what inspired us to keep making Great Ball Contraption videos, and why now most of the top 10 videos on the channel, like half or more GBC videos now. So that's been crazy. I'm trying to think who else we interviewed. There are a number of people that we still see at Brick World that we interviewed that first year there, but I think that the GBC video was by far the most popular from everything we did. So this is a little early history for anyone interested in Beyond the Brick, if you want to know.
Bringing back the nostalgia.
Yes. And actually the Look at Lego channel with those interviews is still out there as well. So when we switched names to Beyond the Brick, we started a new channel, but a Look at Lego still exists. There I am. So we had no shirts or anything. So I actually wore a Legoland Florida shirt to that first convention because we had been to Legoland Florida with my family, and I picked that up, and it was like the only Lego shirt I had. So I figured it was good enough. And it's bright orange. So we started the trend of like having bright shirts that make us easy to recognize. That's always been our goal.
And now we're all taken as Target employees everywhere we go.
That's good. That's good.
We should take a look at chat. It's been a while. I've been talking too much. So.
Yeah, there's a bunch of questions in the chat. There's a question to Boone. He hears us, but he's muted. What is he building? People ask what Boone is building.
I can't say, but they'll see very shortly in the next couple days.
Lego Master's Secret. You're muted again.
Well, this dumb thing, they right now it's a big white blob. It's a cloud. I'm not done with it, and I can't tell you what it is.
We'll look forward to it.
Seb asked, "Have any of us ever dropped a Lego set?"
I have a story.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I have a story that's more embarrassing in public. I used to work at the Lego store for 3 years. I even opened the Lego store here in San Diego, in North San Diego. So I was with them at the beginning.
Is that the store, real quick? Is that the one that's just like an outdoor mall type of thing?
Yeah,
okay.
In North San Diego, it's called GTC store. But we had some sets built, of course, beforehand for displays and stuff. And I specifically remember when we last minute finished the Saturn V from Ideas, and I was the one to carry it out to the display in the front window, and I dropped it in the back room.
Ooh.
And I crashed it the day before we had to display the set. And we scrambled our manager and everybody to like look at find all the bricks under the like storage racks and everything, and I had to stay overtime to rebuild it, unfortunately. So that's a story. I dropped a set that way, and it was pretty gnarly.
made for some fun memories.
Yes, it's a good memory. I think they still laugh at me for that.
We one time a number of years ago we were doing a live stream building I believe the Brick Bank modular building, and one of the people, someone in the chat watching, said they would donate money to Creations for Charity if once we finished the modular building, I picked it up and dropped it on the table, and it crashed. So to get their money, their donation for Creations for Charity, which anyone who watches the 24-hour live stream knows we're big fans of that and do what we can to support them. So I picked that up and broke it on the stream, and it looked pretty cool, crashing apart. You can still see that video somewhere on the channel. It's out there somewhere. And then they donated. So that was a fun time was had by all.
What about you, David?
I know I've dropped a few sets. Nothing like crazy in my memory. I know there's a few Star Wars sets I've definitely dropped, especially when I was moving houses, because I've moved like 4 times within the last 8 years, and so moving all this Lego behind me is no easy task. So I know I've dropped a couple sets, but nothing like crazy. I haven't dropped like a Ultimate Collector's Millennium Falcon or anything like that. So, but yeah, no crazy stories for me, unfortunately.
You only drop large mocks. That's all you drop.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess if you consider that, I pushed mocks over and crashed them.
I love all the comments we get on your crate video about that. People,
oh, man, that was the first time I've ever done anything like that.
And they're so like offended on your behalf. They're like, why would anyone destroy that? And
I know.
It's like it's your build. If you,
no, that was. I mean, there is so many parts from that mock that I've been putting in my new one that without destroying it, I would have been spending so much money on Bricklink, and I'm very happy I destroyed it. Even though I am sad. Actually, hold on. I got something funny.
Story time.
Yes. Always has something entertaining to show off. Let's see. Oh, somebody asked, David, have you ever broke a mock? Brick Vibe. So yeah, we were just talking about that.
I still got like a section of the mountain part of
there you go.
This is from destroying it. It's still put together, as you guys can see. I built this thing pretty well, actually. There's still some chunks and stuff.
A big chunk.
But yeah, you can see my
save a brick from like a building that's torn down. You're like, there's a section of the mountain.
Well, I'm trying to think. I think I saved some stuff from crate. I have the little turrets saved. I'm not going to go destroy those, but I will probably take this apart at some point because look at all these beautiful bricks I can use. So. But
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, the size of your builds, you'd be crazy to not like break those down and reuse those pieces. You'd have.
Oh, there we go. Some excellent footage.
And you can see it. You can see what I'm doing now.
Do you ever come across broken pieces, or do they pretty well?
The only broken pieces I have is reddish brown. I don't know why, but reddish brown plates especially just break on me all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened with the plastic quality there. But yeah, so many bricks in that. Also, shout out to Brick Vibe. I know he was just in the comments. He actually sponsored Crate quite a bit. I think he sent over a couple thousand bricks that you see there, especially the red bricks in that video.
Oh, nice. Thank you for helping David make his incredible builds, Brick Vibe.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Awesome.
Somebody was asking, is that the guy from Lego Masters?
No, it's not actually.
No, it's just his doppelganger, you know.
Similarity.
It's a uncanny similarity, unfortunately.
His beard is shorter than mine.
It's just a hologram. It's like a 3D technology, you know.
Somebody, let's see. Django's got a mango says they've had multiple blue 1x4 bricks with studs on the side just shatter. I don't know. I haven't heard of that piece being a problem. I know the brown is definitely an issue. That's like no matter, even if you aren't throwing your bricks on the ground like David, it still breaks for people. Yeah, and I've never heard a good reason for that. I've always wondered because, I mean, what is it that would make that one color break more than anything else?
David is also asking, David Buchholz, which one did you most feel sad when destroying, David? Crate, Kashyyyk, or Scarif?
I definitely felt sad after Crate because that wasn't. Kashyyyk was kind of like, I actually kept Kashyyyk together after I took it to Brick Fair, and it was sitting in a crate for like 2.5 years, and I finally destroyed it last year. And so like that had been together so long that I was like, okay, I'm ready to let go of this. But Crate, that thing had only been together for about 2 or 3 months prior to the convention where I destroyed it, so I didn't have as much time with it. So I see. That was the bigger sad.
That always hurts a little when I see you guys destroy those beautiful mocks. It always like pinches a little inside.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that with Mandalore. I don't know if I'm tempted to take a hammer, not like a hammer, a mallet, soft mallet, and go at it. But
I get great enjoyment from people destroying mocks, so people need to do that more often.
You're a
You are
horrible
weird.
person,
You
Josh,
are
bro.
weird.
Once we cover the build, I'm more than happy to watch it be destroyed.
Hold on. This is my new favorite. This is my new favorite thing with building, especially if you're building like cities. Is this mallet? I got this from Amazon, but these things are fantastic. Oh my god, they're little soft. They have soft rubber, so especially if you're building bricks, it is so useful. So this is something I've been using quite a bit recently.
We used those on Lego Masters, and I had never even thought about using a hammer.
Oh yeah, no, they're so useful
to stick plates together. But I have gotten the question, where do I get that hammer from, over and over and over and over, and so finally now I've got an affiliate link with Amazon. So if you want to
Go buy all of your hammers. Yeah.
Here's a great question from Mr. Hinkle. Sorry, how, if at all, has your life changed, Boone, since appearing on the Lego Masters show?
I don't know if Boone can.
Oh, he.
Is he?
here I am. My life has changed. Well, it's interesting and sad that we're going through this thing all together. It's just weird. But in like the first couple weeks of Lego Masters, I would go out into the world and I would get recognized like every now and then. Someone would be like, "Hey, are you on Lego Masters?" I'd be like, yeah, I am. I'm that guy. But then like during weeks like 3 and 4, 3, 4, 5, I could really go anywhere and somebody would recognize me. So it like really kind of ramped up in like the 3rd through 5th weeks of the show. And it was like, it was strange. My social accounts have, all taken a pretty, a fairly decent kind of uptick. But then, we all started having to stay home. And so things changed a little bit. And now it's just like, it's hard to say how my life is different because of Lego Masters and how my life is different because of the pandemic?
Yes.
Because I just now pretty much all I do is like build Lego and join people's live streams. And surely some of that would, it's both of those things kind of contributing together to make my life look a lot different than it did, 2 months ago. But yeah, it's interesting. It makes me sad now not to have like watch parties with big groups of people and stuff, but oh well, what are you gonna do?
I thought
Kevin,
you would say just meeting Terry Crews would be like a life-changing event.
Oh, it was meeting Terry Crews. Terry Crews and I are family now.
Wow.
So yeah.
When do we get invited for the party?
Well, ask your governor. I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta wait for that.
Probably like middle of July, hopefully.
Yeah.
Terry Crews hosts a party for all of us.
Want to give a small update here. Triceratops body coming along.
There we go.
Very nicely. So there we go. Coming along. Bag 2, almost done. In case anyone cares. There you go.
Very nice. Oh, and here's Joseph Savano with a much more important question. Boone, how has your life changed with your new headphones and $20?
Oh, he's gone.
He keeps disappearing. Make him come back.
He's wireless.
I answered Joseph's question in the chat, like at the very beginning of this live stream. And my answer was the headphones were garbage. I'm pretty sure the CEO of Beyond the Brick knows nothing about, audio technology.
You're correct.
And that was my answer. And did he ask again? He asked again more recently.
Yeah, so you didn't answer on stream. If people need to know on stream, how that's impacted your life and the big reach that's had.
Yeah, no, it was great actually. Everyone's sleeping now, and I can edit through the night, which I'll be doing tonight. I'm sure.
That's good to hear.
There you have it.
Dragon Breath Gaming and Memes, excellent name by the way, is asking, Boone, do you think that younger builders should be on Lego Masters?
That's a really interesting question. It seems like when Lego Masters came out, I think it surprised a lot of people that it wasn't children. But there's this whole thing of labor laws, right, and child labor laws, and that's what it really comes down to. And so some shows are able to do it, and some reality type television shows work through the legal stuff that is required to get kids on their show. And I think that the production company that did Lego Masters is the same production company that did it in UK and Germany and Australia. And I think that somewhere along the way they discovered that it was just so much easier to make. And I think particularly in the United States, there are some pretty strict rules about having kids on TV. So, they're aware of it. They know that it's a thing that people would like to see. They know that there are tons of kids out there that would love to be able to try to do it. I learned a lot about the production of television while I was there. And one thing I can say is that it seemed like a lot of the, how do I say, like the cast sort of handlers, the talent handlers is the only word I'm coming. Yeah, just the people whose job it is to make sure the cast, the talent are where they need to be when they need to be there. I got the sense that those people have not enjoyed their experiences on many of the shows where the talent is children. Just because there are so many more logistical complications that come with that. So sort of like that paired with the legal stuff. I could see that if Lego Masters becomes popular and is the kind of thing where, we get several more seasons of it. I don't know if that's the case or not. We'll see, I suppose, but I'd have a hard time believing that there at some point wouldn't be like, and here's the kids season, and they figure out how for that season, how to sort out some of those complications. But otherwise, I think when casting started for season 1 in the US, they were accepting applications from children. And by the time casting ended, they had decided they needed to not put any children on the show.
That's excellent.
That was a long-winded,
a good answer though.
Short question.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot that goes into their considerations for things like that.
So Boone, I don't think this is something. I think this is something you can answer. But so after this week's Star Wars episode, is the finale next week? Is that a live? Are they actually doing that live, or has that already been filmed?
It has already been filmed.
Okay, so you already know who technically won then.
I think I know.
You can say.
They did.
I'm gonna look back at this and see if I can tell.
No, I think we can.
Sean Hanlon who won. Actually,
I think we can say that because me and the wonderful Brian right here. If you look right, boom, boom. Hey, you. Yes, because we were invited thanks to Joshua and John's also invitation to Lego Masters media event, and that was actually I think the last day of filming, and that was the finale filming.
Yeah,
so,
it actually wasn't the last day of filming.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
Dave Shefsick. I've heard other people that were there that day say that they were there on the last day.
I was told that by the producer who was like responsible for us on the set, and they did not even allow me to talk to you at all. That's why I just like smiled and waved at you when I saw you like outside the studio because like we were not allowed to talk to any of the contestants because it was like finale stuff. Don't talk to anybody. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was during the taping of the finale, but because you were there on a Friday, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was Friday. I think before the weekend.
But anyway, yeah. So the finale has been taped.
Oh, okay. Well, very nice. I can't wait. Hopefully, you make it to the finale after this week. I gotta imagine.
As
No-
he
no
looks
spoilers,
you dead
no
in the
spoilers.
eyes to figure out if
Like look really close. Look into his eyes. Like, really close. Like boom.
Those are some dead eyes you got there. You've been
Oh, wait,
practicing.
Boone, I have a question.
Poker face.
you-
Hashtag poker face.
Why couldn't you have used the golden brick this upcoming episode, and why they make you use it last
That's a
episode?
good question, actually. Thanks for mentioning that because we were all wondering that same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't going to allow. They didn't want a team to get to the finale by using the golden brick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They wanted, if that makes sense. At least
Yeah.
that's sort of the way I interpreted it.
Okay.
And I will say that everyone knew from the very first challenge that if anyone had the golden brick at this point in the competition, the last opportunity to play it would be challenge 8.
Gotcha.
Because I don't think they ever said that on the show. Which
Yeah.
was confusing.
That's
There's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are unclear on the show. There's been a lot of questions about. A lot of people didn't understand why. So I think it was in challenge 4, the movie challenge. I think that's when Aaron and Christian played their golden brick.
Mhm.
And then Mark and I won that challenge, and people were confused about why we didn't win the golden brick that challenge. And then Mark and I won the next challenge, and people were confused about why we didn't win the golden brick. So yeah, they didn't do a great job explaining like how the golden brick works, but basically it was like we were aware the entire time that the golden brick could come into play at any time in the future, and that basically there would be no golden brick after the 8th challenge, which it technically wasn't the 8th challenge because there were 2 challenges, and so it was the 8th episode.
Yeah. Okay.
And we knew that all along. They just didn't do a very good job,
Yeah.
or they were pleased to leave it vague. I don't know. It's
And I
not
have to-
necessarily.
I have
It's
to
not
correct
necessarily that
myself.
they didn't do a good job, but
I have to correct myself because I completely confused 2 events because I was with Brian on the Toronto event, but the Lego Masters events, it was just me. I just confused that he was there with me. I'm not sure why. It kind of like stuck with me that we were together in Canada, but
I
not
was
in
there
LA
in spirit,
studio.
don't worry.
But he was there as like spiritual, like supporting me. But yeah, Brothers Brick was there too, and the guys from Brickset.
I channeled my energy and gave it to you all the way in
I
California.
know, like I just like it was such a fun event with you that it's like I thought it was like with me in LA as well. I don't know why.
Well, hopefully there'll be more events that we can collaborate on together, Mike.
For sure.
Hopefully there's something.
Absolutely.
Mentioned Rogue Gamer 16 has been patient in chat. Who's asked Boone and anyone can answer this question as well. What do you think about the 501st battle pack?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
my goodness,
All right.
Can we
All right.
pretend it doesn't exist, please?
So
That's just like a-
It's like-
It's just-
You have
I
any
mean,
questions here first? Go ahead, because the question was directed to you.
to me.
Yes.
When that came out, so I think the first pictures I saw of it were like Andres posted like the picture of the cover, and I saw it on Flickr, and then I literally like never thought another thing of it. I love Star Wars. I consider myself a Star Wars fan. I've got a fair amount of Star Wars stuff in here, but like not a crazy amount of Star Wars stuff. But I'm really like, I'm for my entire childhood, all we had was the original trilogy. And I'm in a weird spot because I'm not old enough to have seen those movies in the theater. I'm not that old, right? But I was a teenager by the time we got episode 1. So then like Clone War, all of the Clone Wars stuff sort of came like when I was in college and really busy with other stuff. And I had like original trilogy stuff like on display in my dorm room. Like I had a Boba Fett, like the giant cardboard cutout, and I had my, my Lego X-Wing and my the Django's Slave One hanging in my dorm room. So I mean, like I'm certainly a Star Wars fan, but in no way am I like knowledgeable or even necessarily 100% interested in like every aspect of Star Wars. So there are some things that I get very excited about, and there are some things that like I really couldn't care much less about. And so and the day I saw this, like I said, I saw the picture on Andreas's I want to say Twitter or Flickr, and not Flickr, Twitter or Instagram is what I meant. But and I was like, oh, that's cool. I like the color scheme. And then I literally like swiped right past it. And then I think it was like within 24 hours, I had people asking me, what do you think about the 501st Battle Pack? And I was like, what? And I'm like, why are so many people asking me about this? And so what I think is this. And I realized that was a ridiculous prologue. But what I think is a lot of people care deeply about this thing, or they wouldn't be asking questions about it. Or it's just a joke, and somehow everyone on the internet is in on it. Anyway, I look at that speeder, and I guess I would like to build a huge one. Like I'd like to build one for like construction scale or something. Like anyway, but as far as like I don't have like a deep emotional connection to the 501st. So I was much more excited about like the Mandalorian Battle Pack. Before that, I didn't really have a whole lot of frame of reference for like caring about like battle packs as opposed to like other things, but I don't know. I could keep yammering all day on most subjects, but I should probably stop on
David
this one.
is setting up something epic on his table. I see that.
I already
doing?
here's the 501st battle pack right here, guys. I got it perfectly.
Oh, he already has it. The exclusive access.
No, so I grabbed these two sets because literally this new set is this same speeder and this same walker right here in basically a newer version of the set. So we've technically gotten a lot of this before. It's really just, it comes down to the minifigures, and the significance of the minifigures is kind of a throwback to this set right here, which this is kind of where the whole clone trooper collecting started in terms of like really going big on the internet, which is this Clone Walker battle pack that came out in 2009. And basically the significance is this was the last battle pack, to my knowledge, that came with 3 of the same clone trooper figure. And so that's why so many people are freaking out, is that this set has 3 of the same figure in combination with these vehicles right here. So it's like, and all 3 of these sets is like a big favorite among I guess, Star Wars fans who grew up with the Clone Wars show and Star Wars fans who grew up with the prequels. Like Ben was saying, I feel like if you kind of missed out, or you're not a fan of the prequels, or you're not a fan of any of that kind of era, then you probably, this, like you said, it just kind of goes over your head. Like, that's cool, moving on. But for people who grew up with this stuff right here, it's a big deal. And then I think the bigger thing going on here is the fact that this is the first Lego set that fans really were outspoken about and really pushed Lego to make. And so now the bigger question is, should this be a thing the community does, which is like basically, hey, like nag Lego until they make something and like be very persistent about it. I don't think that's a great way of doing things, but I mean, what do you guys think?
I wonder,
democracy in action like that. I think it's cool when you get like a grassroots campaign type of thing going on, and people can really push Lego to create something. But yeah, if it was happening all the time, then it would kind of become annoying, and it would just feel like fans constantly nagging on the company. But when it's just like a rare thing where it's like, this is something that people are really passionate about and they'd really love, then I think it's kind of cool when fans can actually try to have an impact on the company like that.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Because I think we should give some. I know. I wonder like how much of it was Lego's effort, but we gotta give some credit to MNR because he kind of ran this campaign. I wonder like how much of it impacted the decision by Lego, and how much was just Lego. That's something that Lego had in the back burner before it maybe even happened. Like, what do you guys think?
I don't know, David. You're the expert here.
I actually have some insider knowledge. So I actually talked with. I talked with the Lego Star Wars team last year. I think it was right around Star Wars Celebration last year. And I was at dinner with the team, and the 501st thing was still on everybody's mind at the time, and it got brought up, and this is the America's Lego Star Wars team. So these are the people working on the Connecticut side of Lego, not the Denmark or Billund or worldwide headquarters.
Billund.
Exactly. So I was talking to that team, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, this is so nuts! I can't believe this was a thing. Like, we just want to leave it in the past." And so when I heard that, I just assumed, all right, so that's it. And I brought it up. I remember I was talking to Jens and Caesar, who were two Lego Star Wars designers at Star Wars Celebration. I brought up the 501st thing, and they just looked at each other, and they're like, they didn't even have anything to say. And I was like, well, that's strange. Because I know at the time they were working on sets that would be this right now, the 501st Clone Trooper set. So what's interesting to me is that the America's Lego team kind of just thought this wasn't going to happen, but it turns out it reached enough to the point where the worldwide headquarters actually addressed it with the Lego Star Wars team, which is what you're seeing here. So it's even crazier that hopped over one barrier just to get to another.
Yeah. And I know you guys mentioned M&R, who really, I think, kind of led the campaign for this in a lot of ways, which was cool. But then also, I believe, was it Rich Boy J that made the song?
Oh my God, yeah.
That's true. That is true.
First Battle Pack song. If you guys want to look that up, it's fun.
The speakers or something to Brickworld Chicago. I remember, like, part of our tour video at Brickworld, you can clearly hear his song in the background.
I think each one of the Lego community members like somewhat contributed to this in a way. Yeah, they were
cool to see, especially all the more Star Wars related channels that were like getting behind that campaign, and really pushing and doing like creative, funny things like that to out of the box stuff around that.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting set that I think I'm not going to be surprised that it's going to be sold out for a couple months after it comes out in August. Also, conveniently, oh man, August 1st is going to be a big day. Brick Fair is happening that weekend. We're getting Super Mario. We're getting these new Star Wars sets. Who knows what else we're going to get on August 1st in terms of Lego releases? Like that is going to be a big weekend.
There you go. Yeah, it's always good to have those release dates to look forward to. Like Brian was saying with the Mario stuff earlier, it kind of keeps you going.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for the 501st Trooper. It's not even a battle pack. It's like technically not a battle pack, but it's like a super battle pack if you want to call it that.
Mike Flint says we need a 24-hour Lego channel. Up to the challenge, guys?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to the set. It's actually reasonably priced considering you get 6 minifigures. I think it's like 285 pieces. So that matches up well with a $30 price. But I won't be surprised if Amazon has it on sale for like $24 or something soon after. Usually that's kind of what they do with these type of sets around this price. So
I'm more concerned about the this pack being available in the initial like phases of launch. It's gonna be crazy to get like.
Oh yeah, it'll be very hard to get at launch. No, definitely. I plan on buying quite a few.
Oh, David, you are the battle pack expert. Do you know how many battle packs you've bought over the years now? Do you keep track of that at all?
At least 500, actually. Now that I think about it, I probably bought 500 of those.
Oh my God,
sets over the years. That's over like 10 years. Okay, so what is that? 50 battle packs a year? That sounds insane.
Sounds about right.
I'm looking at, I want to say I have 200 brand new ones on my shelf over here that are just sealed in box that I have for my collection. But yeah, it's probably at least 500.
I always think it's funny. Like I think about like the early days of YouTube when like Lego YouTubers were much smaller and there were far few people doing Lego YouTube when we like 2011, 2012, when we were first starting the channel. And I remember, seeing your videos, and it was always just like, this is the crazy guy with all of the battle packs.
I've actually, oh my God, I've recently, I don't know if, Joshua, did you see that I became a a living meme, literally on Reddit.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, you were on Reddit, like front page.
Yeah, I actually went on Reddit for front page, which was insane. I couldn't believe that happened.
I think John should find that meme. Maybe I can find it.
Producer John can get on that here and pull up.
It's crazy. I was blown away. And what's crazy, even more crazy, I found this out through my girlfriend's sister. Like, she texted us like, "Hey, did you know David's on Reddit right now?" And I'm like, "What?"
You don't know who made it or anything. It just kind of popped up there, and
it was just I know it's in the subreddit of prequel memes. So that's the episode 1 through 3 of Star Wars. It's just memes based off that, and I think it's one of the biggest memes from that subreddit ever. So it just blew up out of nowhere. But it's really funny. If I was to ever be a meme, this one I'm very much okay with. I think it's very funny, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, no, that was pretty crazy. That wasn't just a clone trooper collection. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
It's my entire Lego Star Wars collection, which that video alone has already gotten 1 million views in the last. I put that out at the end of December, beginning of January. So that's only been out for about 3 months now, and it blew up. And now it's become a meme.
Was that the thumbnail for the video?
The picture at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, at the bottom. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fills up my entire basement floor, which is pretty insane.
Well, congratulations on becoming a meme. This is always a big.
It's the ultimate achievement unlocked here.
What are they saying about you?
It's a 50 Shades of Grey meme. It's a common meme used, but I think it works very well with what I have going on.
No, no, it's good. Okay. You told the story last night, didn't you? Or was it earlier in? When did you? Was it your live stream last night where you were talking about like your first date or something like that? A dude in the live stream was like, "Hey, I haven't gone out, or I haven't told my girlfriend yet that."
Oh yeah. We were talking about that last night. Yeah. But like, what do you mean? Like, what do you want me to talk about specifically?
Oh no, nothing. I'm just messing around.
Got you.
The only meme I've ever been a part of was actually Joseph Zawada. I don't know if he's still in the chat. Years ago, we interviewed him about his Zelda castle, and someone made a meme that it kind of pops up every once in a while. It's one of those that people kind of make the rounds occasionally, where like what some people build, and it's like me. It's like a screenshot from the video we did with Joseph. So it's me and Joseph standing next to his castle. And then like what I build, and then it's just like, I don't know, a few 2x4 bricks stacked on top of each other or something like that.
I think I've seen that meme, and I think I know what you're talking about.
That's the only meme I can claim having been in it all. Oh, there it is.
It's actually pretty funny.
Doesn't John repost that like once a year?
The funny part of the bottom one is that I think that's in a Lego store. It's like the brick building, you know, the little table they have there. So like somebody built that in a Lego store.
Oh man.
But yeah, Joseph's castle was awesome. We have the video out there on the channel. It's a few years old now, but it's still a very cool mock if people haven't seen that. We've been talking a lot about Nintendo stuff recently, so it's a good time for a resurgence on his build there. We need to put together a Nintendo playlist now that I think about it, of all the Nintendo builds we've covered over the years.
I advocate for that.
There we go.
I have, so there's actually I think a few people here from my neck of the woods, and I was actually talking about last night. I knew the topic of the 501st Battle Pack was going to come up, and I've been trying to understand for a long time why, and I don't know why. I am not the biggest Star Wars fan, admittedly. So I believe Star Wars has very good moments and very good characters, but a lot of the content of the movies themselves doesn't lend to a lot of cohesiveness over time. So like when the shows came out, the animated shows, I was like, all right, well, these are a thing, and it totally bypassed me. And in place of that, Marvel rose to power in my heart and mind. So when I saw people were advocating for the 501st pack, I'm like, oh, they're cool because they're blue. Cool. I like blue. And then that was it. And that's pretty much all I have to say on it. I really want to understand better why, like you explained it a little bit, David, but like trying to still grasp like, okay, what is it about this unit, this team specifically? And some people are complaining that it's not quite what they wanted, even though there was a massive push by the fans for it. So what would have satisfied everyone across? I mean, that's not possible, but like what could have been improved about the pack to just end the argument, let it be done, whatever, you know?
I mean, there was so many people that were either loving it, or there was definitely also people on Instagram I saw just nitpicking the
Which
heck
that's
out of
going to
it.
happen no matter what with anything.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. So the main like hype for this, the reason why the blue clone troopers are so popular, is just mainly because, throwing back to this set right here, we've only gotten that figure once, and it was in this set right here. It was a $20
Just
set.
one.
Actually, no, it was one other set too, actually, but we've never gotten like a significant amount in a smaller battle pack set like this. And so that was kind of what fans were wanting. And so that's also why you see people being like, this is not exactly what we wanted, because it's not the $15 battle pack that we're used to. But they kind of made up with that by adding battle droids. But
yeah,
go ahead.
You and everyone else are going to buy 700 of them. Like that's
yeah.
just the nature of what it is, because it's a cool looking
set.
So that
I don't know if John wants to look it up, but if you look up 501st Jedi Temple scene from one of the Star Wars films, it's kind of like an iconic moment for those of you who grew up with the prequel Star Wars movies,
3, right?
It's basically all these troopers marching up with Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
And that was here it is right here. Actually, that's really good timing, John. Very impressed, Joshua. Your brother's doing a good job. But yeah, these troopers right here, these are the 501st troopers. And so I myself, and among with like Jay and Matt, the Brick Wiz, and Rich Boy Jay, we were all like, oh man, we immediately wanted to make this scene now. We want to make the Jedi Temple, make these troopers now that we have them as Lego figures. You can see them in the background right now. But yeah, making that would be really, really cool. So I'd say that's like one scene. There's a couple other scenes from the movie. They don't even have a giant presence, honestly, in the film. And that's what's crazy is like Star Wars fans always really dial into the little like figures, the background characters, and they're just like, oh my God, I want all of them.
That's why it really throws me off when I see such a push for a specific thing in Star Wars. Like, okay, why does everyone like Boba Fett? Because really, Boba Fett doesn't do anything. Oh, he's cool looking.
Exactly. That's a great example. That's a really great example of how Star Wars fans can be, honestly.
And you know what? I can't latch on to that as much. I mean, I obviously am a big Nintendo guy. Nintendo is one of the biggest franchises of all time, whatever. But I can understand now why people would like The Mandalorian, because The Mandalorian has, at least in my opinion and the opinion of others, have really shown, okay, this is why this is a cool character. This is why people really want to get this character in a set. Baby Yoda, it's justified, the memes, the whatever, of course. But like these specific troopers, like, is it just because they're cool looking at the end of the day? Is that what it is?
They're cool looking. And then there's also the fact that there is a I want to call it like a giant group, a worldwide group called the 501st Legion, which is basically just a bunch of Star Wars fans that make.
I've seen them before.
So there is that recognition, and George Lucas himself is a big advocate for the 501st Legion. So there is a lot of like in fandom hype of that as well, which kind of ties into it. These troopers right now, these were actually made in a different battle pack we got a couple years ago. That also is another reason why fans were upset, is because we got those figures years ago, but we never got the 501st in a battle pack.
Right.
All right, I'm going to start talking for a moment. When I heard you mention Boba Fett, my ears perked up, and I actually think I have something to contribute to this conversation.
There we go.
Part of the challenge when you have something as popular as Star Wars has been for as long as it has been, you run the risk of overdoing things, of over explaining things. And when we didn't have any, so I'm just going to go back in time a little bit. When, we didn't know there was any connection to, troopers and a guy who, well, and things evolve, right? Things evolve rapidly, and you find out the things that you thought for years aren't true or weren't true or never were. But when all we had was 4, 5, and 6, Boba Fett, it was like looking cool was enough. And he had this thing, and the word that I'm going to use is mystique.
Sure.
And it's like you put looking cool, and not just cool because Vader looked cool, but other characters looked cool, but Boba Fett seemed very different to most of the other characters we encounter. And the fact that we don't see his face, we don't know who he is, and this mystique, mixed in with he's got like really the coolest costume in the whole shebang. It worked for years and years and years to kind of build this like really weird sort of like the second most popular character in Star Wars is a character that we know nothing about. Now, of course, that was in the mid to late 90s. That's not, I don't know. He's probably still among the top, I don't know, 10 most popular characters or 20, I don't know what, but then it's like you see the Mandalorian and you are sort of given this story that gives you a reason to care about the person in the costume and to care about the culture that, this sort of mystique is influenced by, right? So anyway, I mean, I guess what I would say is that neither approach is wrong, but I think it's sometimes difficult for, it happens in the Star Wars fan community. It happens in the Lego community. Holy smokes. I used to cosplay with the Ghostbusters. And when the 2016 movie came out, I loved that movie, but what the fandom, largely people, commenting from their basement, did to that fandom, like kind of ruined it for me. The movie I loved and I thought it was hilarious, and it's some of those ladies are my favorite. Okay, that's not the point. But the point is, fandoms are challenging, and I don't think either way to think about that is wrong. But there was a certain amount of mystery, 20 years ago that I think we don't always have, and so I guess I wonder if that's part of for people who grew up with the prequels trilogy, for people who grew up with the Clone Wars, various iterations. I wonder if something about the 501st, and David kind of hit on this, is that it's almost obscure, and so you mix obscure and you mix mystique with something that looks and feels cool, and you get something that could be really quite interesting.
And
there we go.
That's the best outlook I've heard on it, and I think it's two entirely different trains of thought. I think now we're living in an age of, let's say, the Marvel movies, where it's like, okay, we're building this cohesive universe where eventually we're going to explain all of it. And I think you see that in the sequel saga more so of Star Wars. They're going to explain these little details. This character has this motivation, this purpose, this whatever. So by comparison of the idea back then, when you didn't have the internet to talk on forums and speculate, and that culture wasn't there, to what it is now, it's just two different generations clashing. And that's always been my issue with Star Wars in general. It's not, they did the first movies based on Luke, Leia, Han, but then they went back in time, then they went forward in time, and everything else in between, where, the Marvel movies are basically chronological for the most part. So it's just two different frames of thought, and comparing each of those as they are is not fair because they're two entirely different things. But in terms of how they've built the universes, like, they've learned to grow from what Star Wars was and to what, other franchises could do today. So when I see the hype around specific obscure characters without justification, I'm like, okay, well, they've proved why, people should be invested in like Harry Potter or like Iron Man or something, because it's proven, it's in detail in the movies, the thing most people watch. Not to say people don't watch the shows or the comic books or whatever, but the main attraction is the movies. And for the most part, if it's not in the movies, it's not in the minds of the people, for the most part, that are watching. So I always find it interesting to see the argument either way. And I'm always impressed by how passionate Star Wars fans are. And I'm glad that, we're able to talk about it and not just be like, well, Star Wars is just great because it's great. There's like an actual dialogue there. I like it a lot.
Sweet. Guys, this is the moment I would have to say goodbyes slowly, because I have to go and do other stuff. So for my farewell words, I would just like to thank David for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it, and thank you guys for having me as well. I hope to join some of your streams at some point too, David, because I watch your streams a lot.
Yeah, man, we should have you on.
Yeah, absolutely. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, subscribe to David. Before I go, make sure you do that, and subscribe to Beyond the Brick. Support these guys so we can reach 700,000 subscribers, only like 3,000 away, or like less probably, because it's like rounding up right now.
Check out Mike's stuff on the Cool Factor as well. So thank you. It's always great to chat with you, Mike. Glad
thank you.
In this week.
Thanks for coming, Mike.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna be hoping to join every Tuesday, as long as you guys run those streams. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, depending on my work day. But yeah, overall should be fine. So awesome stream. Thank you, David, and have fun, guys.
See you, man.
And I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, peace out. Okay,
Have
a good day.
Okay, see you guys.
Yeah, for anyone just joining us live, thank you so much on YouTube and Facebook. We do these streams every Tuesday starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time here in the U.S. So if you're just joining now, we've been going for almost 2 hours. So make sure you stream in from the very beginning in the future, because you don't want to miss any of Brian's hot takes or David's explanations of the Star Wars battle packs and how they all fit together.
Oh, yeah.
It's quality content on Beyond the Brick, always.
Yes, exactly. It's always good stuff here. I finally started building something. This is the Space Police.
Oh, that's a good set, man.
Yeah, this is actually a surprisingly cool set. So I have it mostly built here. It was I was just putting it together to see what pieces might be missing or what all I need to find to complete it. But there's a lot here. It breaks down into a number of different modules. So this is one section. There's these two little pods on the back, and then there's this section here which has the top kind of flipped up, and you can see inside there, and it's got those cool like green turrets on there, and then these are the pods for holding the prisoners. So there's a lot to this set.
I just completed my Triceratops, so that is done. You can't really see it, it's very blown out. Let me see, hold on, if I turn that off, yeah, you can see it a little better. So I like it, it's cool.
Yeah, that looks very neat.
Yeah, it'll go nice with the RGB lights back here. It'll illuminate it different colors. So, yeah, it looks cool.
So Martin mentioned in the chat, he's watching from the Netherlands. He says, the live chat is great, guys. So much better than the general stuff on TV. So thank you for that. We appreciate that. And he says he hopes we can get Jiang Brix on soon. So do we. We'll do our best. Thanks.
Go knock on his door. It's fine.
What's that?
Just go knock on his door.
There we go. Yeah, we'll just head on over there. We'll do a cross country drive.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's home, so what's the harm in that?
Exactly. Please don't go knocking on Jiang's door, people.
No, don't. You can knock on mine. It's fine. Any traffic going there, just bring it here. It's fine.
Otto asks, what do you think of Lego Mario? Well, you can watch the recordings from last week and everything we've talked about up to this point.
You can watch me spew about it for like 4 hours cumulatively from last stream and this stream.
We've collectively pretty much exhausted that. I don't know if there's anything, Brian, that you held back on earlier that you wish to share now, but yeah.
No, we're not. Okay, so I will refuse to comment on any more Mario things until we get a big blowout when it happens. Not that I know anything, but when it happens. So
who was it that mentioned taking apart the little Mario guy? Because the moment that was mentioned, I really decided that's now one of my primary goals in life.
So I said that earlier because I said someone is bound to do it just based on what the technology is.
I've now really, you made me want to do that. I don't even have one.
You know what that is? That's content on Beyond the Brick right there. Take it right apart. I won't do it because I can't do that to my boy. But Boone, you can do it.
Yeah, there we go. It's I actually some of my old before my channel was exclusively Lego. Some of my most popular content was like taking apart like Buzz Lightyear action figures and stuff. I'm all over this. I'm gonna take apart Mario. I'm looking directly into the eyes of everyone watching this, and I tell you, the moment I get my hands on a Mario, I'm gonna take it apart, and we will figure out what's inside.
And the moment that I have my hands on it, I'm gonna hold it like it was my child. So 2 very different trains of thought.
I'll put him back together eventually.
I feel like you're gonna have to like melt the plastic off or pry it off or something to get into the screen. So,
oh, Boone, that's gonna be a great video. If you're like,
then I just need 2. I just need 2.
There we go. Be like, hey kids, we're gonna pry Mario's skull out of his overalls, and then here's the screen.
Yeah.
Or somebody's gonna like reprogram it by connecting it to Bluetooth, like something.
I just love that it is possible that the sentence could exist. Come on, kids, we're gonna pull. What did you say? Come on, kids, we're gonna pull Mario's skull out of his overalls.
There it is.
Oh,
you can use that quote. You don't have to give me credit either. Just use it. It's fine.
All right, we'll do it.
On this episode of Beyond the Brick,
we're gonna decapitate Mario. There you go.
Oh wow.
But that's August 1st, man. So presumably, Mario sets to whatever degree that they're out, and then the 501st not battle pack, and then presumably Harry Potter. That's usually something comes out every August. So literally gonna have to file for another mortgage or something, man.
Yeah.
Tough month.
Yeah, start saving, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go out and spend money on theme parks or anything. Everything's shut down. So just save your money for that,
I was on a call today with a few people from Lego, and apparently for Shop at Home right now, it is equivalent to Black Friday amount of people purchasing Lego.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, I have not received any word of my Barracuda Bay shipping, so
I had a friend of mine too. We were talking on my live stream last night. My boy Jedi Bob, shout out if he's listening. But if he also said he ordered it on April 1st, and he hasn't. It just says in warehouse for him. It hasn't shipped.
Yep. I ordered it at literally 12:30 a.m. So I also ordered it with the bookshop as well. So I'm assuming that it's all gonna ship not at one time, but when things are in stock.
Right.
Individually, I would hope, instead of me getting just one giant package that's however many hundreds of dollars worth. But yeah, no, definitely people are keeping busy with those sets, Katie, in the chat. Lots of parents going through the effort of doing whatever it takes to keep people busy. And thankfully, Lego takes up a lot of time. So that's good.
That's right. Yeah.
It looks like a couple people are advocating for decapitating Mario. So you got some pull behind that already, Boone. That'll be good.
Look at how excited he gets just at the thought of it.
Yeah.
Now I want to do it. Actually, I'm really tempted to take a what do you call it, a Dremel, and just go right at it.
The thing is, it seems so far away, doesn't it? Doesn't August seem so far away?
It's really not.
Quickly.
It's really not. I mean, for me, time has moved in a very weird way. Going to bed at 4:00 in the morning for no reason. Nothing matters anymore. So what does time matter anymore at this rate? So
there you go.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're handling quarantine well.
Hey man, I'm still doing videos. I'm still streaming. Basically, nothing's changed for me. I just can't peruse around the mall or Target without feeling bad, or can't in general. So
There you go.
that's whatever.
So here's Craig with a question. What would be your dream set for Lego to make?
All right, who wants to go first? Because I already know what I'm gonna say. But
David, does anything come to mind right away?
I know everybody hates remakes sometimes, but I'd love to see a new version of a creator expert Eiffel Tower. It's one of my all-time favorite sets, and I'd love to see a new version of that with the better techniques that we have nowadays.
that's a good choice.
I remember you pointing that out to us when we were at your house.
Oh yeah. It's a favorite set. I still have it upstairs.
Let's see. For me, I would say, so I mentioned earlier like a Greek and Roman theme and how much I would love to see something like that. So I think like a big sort of like temple, Greek or Roman style temple could be an incredible set. And then you get some of those really cool minifigures going with that. That could be really neat. Yeah, I'm trying anything along those lines, but that something like that definitely comes to mind as something that Lego has not done yet that I would love to see. How about
Boone, any dream Lego set that you want them to make? I mean, you make your own stuff, so I don't know if that really applies for you, but
Well, for years and years, I wanted a really good 1989 Batmobile, and that just came out last year. So,
Have you gotten that set, Boone? Do you have it?
yeah.
Is it good? Is it worth getting?
I loved it. I also for it. So, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to really say like if it's worth the retail price when I didn't pay the retail price. But there were techniques in it that I absolutely loved. I'm a very big fan of that car, and I thought it was a really nice recreation of that vehicle. I only have like one thing about it that bothers me from a replica standpoint, but it's not even like it's not something that I have a practical solution to, so I can't really complain about it. But anyway, yeah, you should get it if you like the car, if you like Batman, and you have the budget, I'd recommend it.
I still haven't. So I have that film. I have the 1989 Batman film on DVD, and I just still haven't watched it yet. And I feel like I need to watch it before I get that set. Because
you've never seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much. It's been a really good stream. I have to go eat lunch. No, that was so. I was
Was that your childhood movie?
Well, I was like 5 when that movie came out. Gotcha. So that was like my Batman, as a kid.
Gotcha.
And I think that is probably still my favorite Batmobile. I'm very into Batmobiles. I am, I'm sort of in pursuit of owning every Lego Batmobile. There's a whole nother room over here that you can't see that is like still full of like just tons of different types of Batmobile toys, and I've actually, when I got back into Lego, I started selling off my Batmobiles, but I've still got tons.
Jeez.
So yeah, I'm actually I'm a far bigger fan of the car than I am of the character Batman. I mean, I love Batman, but
because I love Dark Knight is my favorite Batman film. And I have I guess it's the UCS tumbler. I don't know if people just call it the tumbler. But the collector's tumbler, and I absolutely love that set. I still have it somewhere around here. So I'm just wondering, do you have that set, Boone?
No. And here's an interesting thing. I absolutely loved Christopher Nolan's Batman films. But I had waited. I had waited a long time to see what the next Batmobile would look like, because they changed it basically in '92. We had basically the same Batmobile we had in '89,
right?
With Forever, it was the Forever and Batman and Robin were both just a mess all around. But I really did like the look of the Batman and Robin Batmobile. And so, we had waited a number of years. I want to say that was maybe 97 that movie, 97 or 98 that movie came out. And I think Batman Begins came out in, was it 05 or 03? Anyway, it'd been a number of years and I'd been watching, and like every day I would, whatever search engine we had then, I would search. Not every day, but quite often I would search for like Batmobile leaks. And I didn't even know, it was because it was like there was a rumor that a new Batman movie was coming, and so I would be like Batmobile leaks. And when I finally saw it, when that Batmobile was leaked, the Tumblr, I was like, what? It was like so different to everything we had seen before. But I'm sure that there were people in 1989 that felt the same way, right? And so I was really disappointed with the Tumblr when I first saw it. But then, I fell in love with those movies. I thought they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Going backward to any of the previous Batman films, you're not going to get the same experience you get with Christopher Nolan films, right? But anyway, so the Tumblr, man, you asked me a question about the Batmobile, and I can just talk for a half hour. So the Tumblr, like I have a great appreciation for it, and I love it and how it fits into the universe, and I love those films. But it's just not one of my favorite Batmobiles. So while I will own that set because I sort of
a completist of Batman a little bit.
I'm trying of at least the car, right? I'm a completist of the Batmobiles, and so I will own that set. But I have seen it enough. I've seen it enough in the secondary market complete that I don't feel like I'm in a rush to get it. But hearing you recommend it makes me feel like I definitely want to build it. So
I really enjoyed that. And it's a complex build for sure. And it has some wonky techniques you'd be surprised by for sure as well. But it's a good set. And I remember enjoying that quite a bit. And obviously that had great minifigures, and obviously the 1989 Batmobile has great figures as well. So I think it all ties in really well. I was kind of shocked though that we got that. Like that just came out of left field. Like no tie in with anything. There's no like 4K Blu-ray release of 1989 Batman or anything like that.
Well, I think it was the
or what
it was the 30th anniversary, right?
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. So 2019 was the 30th anniversary of
got you
that first Michael Keaton Batmobile or Batman movie. Anyway. One thing I do really like about that big Tumblr, and I call those UCS, but I don't think they're not branded UCS, but I think people sort of consider them that way because they've got those.
I definitely consider it. It looks like because it has the plaque. That's what it comes down to.
Right. And what I really love in this model is sort of the like studs to smooth ratio. I think it's really nice. They could have gone completely smooth, or they could have gone, completely studded out, and they've just got a really nice ratio in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite sets too. It's a great Lego set. I need to pull it out. It's in a bin. It's protected in bubble wrap, but it's in a bin. I just haven't. There's still Lego sets I have around here that still need to be unpacked from my last move last year. It just takes me forever to get to it.
Somebody in chat, and I think I lost the comment now, had said it's too bad that the Batman the animated series did not overlap with like the Lego license for Batman. So
I know that would have been amazing.
I've always heard really good things about the animated series. I've never watched it though. That's kind of something I've been meaning to.
No, I'm a huge advocate for the animated series. I watched that as a kid and I love it.
It's awesome, and the Batmobile is awesome. The Batmobile, I've actually seen a lot of really wonderful, well, not a lot, but I've seen a number of really wonderful mocks of the animated series Batmobile because it's got really straight lines. So it's actually, I think you can achieve a pretty true likeness of that Batmobile using Lego. Yeah, they should do that. It's popular enough. The Batman the animated series has remained very popular. I mean, it was like 1993 to 1995 or something like that, or 6. But it remains very well respected. And that was, I believe, Kevin Conroy's first go at voicing the Batman character, and he has voiced almost every animated and video game iteration of Batman since then, except Lego Batman in the motion pictures, which is Will Arnett. But Kevin Conroy is even Lego Batman in the video games and all of like the home release Batman Lego movies.
To most people, Kevin Conroy is Batman.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Did you go to Will while you were at Lego Masters? Be like, hey, Kevin Conroy,
Dave, gotta change the battery, man.
Fine, I got this.
What was your question, David? You could probably ask it while we can't see you.
Oh, there we go.
We're good. What was I saying? I was just saying, did you go up to Will and be like, Kevin's my Batman? Sorry, Will.
No, I didn't. The thing is, Arnett delivered this little comedic spin on Batman that I had imagined for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so he really captured something that I saw in Batman that I don't know that like has really been captured by anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
At least not in that way. So I really appreciate Arnett's Lego Batman. But of course, Conroy, man, he's done. If you look at Kevin Conroy's IMDb page, it's nuts. And it's just like Batman in this, Batman in that, Batman in this, Batman, like all the way back to 1993.
Right.
And it's crazy. And consequently, Mark Hamill has been doing Joker.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Mark Hamill was animated series Joker, and has done almost as many. Has voiced Joker almost as many times as Kevin Conroy. I think there's fewer opportunity from
Joker at this point in an animated context.
Say that again.
I was just saying, I don't think you could get anybody else to voice Joker in an animated context than Mark Hamill at this point.
Right.
Same with Kevin. Like, I mean, they work, and it sounds so good.
And it's amazing how similar, people's voices don't change all that much over the years. Until people start getting like quite old, do you really start to like tell that there's a difference in their voice. So yeah, it's really cool that those people can have those types of careers for so long.
Yeah, no, definitely. I heard some people being like, what's his I feel really bad now. I can't think of the voice actor for Darth Vader. James Earl Jones. There we go. But some people are saying James Earl Jones is getting too old to voice Darth Vader at this point.
Well, if he could do Lion King,
I think that worked for that role. But like, I know people in Rogue One, when that movie came out in 2016, they were like, I can hear like James Earl being like kind of like an old man-esque. It doesn't sound as like quite the same Vader as it was back in the original films. But
then you get so many more people who are like, well, why didn't they use James Earl Jones? Like, that's just
I know. So it's weird. I see it's weird when I see complaints like that.
Like,
it's crazy. James Earl Jones is 89 years old. So, it took the dude getting to almost 90 before people said he's starting to sound like an old man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, humans are not a species that lasts forever. So we have to cherish the times he still can play as Darth Vader or be in Lion King or whatever he's going to do. That's where I would fall in the camp. Like, yeah, if there comes a time where Darth Vader needs to have a new voice when it's actually time, sure, but use James Earl Jones. Yeah.
Joshua, how long do these streams last?
There's no set time where we'll probably go 3 to 4 hours generally. So
I say until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, that's always Ryan's answer. So in that case, who knows? But yeah, so we're like 2 hours 20 minutes almost right now. So we'll go to at least 3 hours probably, and then from there we just kind of see what happens.
Do the vibe check. See what happens.
Yeah, I'm probably about 40 minutes to finishing this set. I'm working on this is one of the first, I guess, big hit inside sets I've gotten.
What a great set. Great set, man.
Probably the best hit inside set is the bus set. So I don't know if I'm a fan of this box art in the front. This throws me off in the Lego aisle. It doesn't look great to my opinion, but I mean this set in particular looks pretty good.
That bus along with the high school, I think, are two sets that complement each other very well. You have those two together?
I know. So I have the only other head inside set I have is this one right here.
The graveyard?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, my girlfriend was coming down like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that I'm working on. I pulled out an old one here.
Are you kidding me?
So
That?
there's a better shot of it.
You didn't open the box, did you?
No. This is part of a bunch of sets from the Craigslist lot that I've been going through.
You said it so angry, like you didn't open the box.
How dare you?
I got a brand new one sitting around. I thought I'd crack it open right now.
What's a set like that worth? Like, what's the value of those things now? The classic space set sealed.
This is like pre-classic.
That's pre-classic space. That's the very first.
The year they landed on the moon.
Oh wow!
I mean, yeah, because this has it's got these old, super old brick built figures with the figures.
Wow, I can't believe you found a listing like that, Joshua.
I've had these sets for years. I explained this. I think Brian heard me on the last stream. I was building some classic space stuff, so I bought these years ago, and they've been sitting around for years waiting for me to sort through everything and actually figure out what all was here. And now that I've been stuck at home for a while, I'm finally doing that. So that's what I'm doing with my time. So I've got a bunch of old like classic space and even older stuff, and then another lot I bought years ago that had a bunch of Star Wars and like that Space Police set and some other stuff in it that I'm working through and just trying to see what parts I need to get to complete the set, basically.
Got you. No more intercontinental traveling for you.
As much as I would love to hop on a plane to Europe, for the weekend, just isn't happening at the moment.
I can't imagine you and your brother go to so many Lego conventions. I can't imagine how many airplane, I don't know what they're called, the travel points or whatever you guys rack up.
Yeah, we do quite a bit. So we also drive a lot too. Like within the US, we try to drive anything that isn't on the West Coast, basically we drive to in the US because but then we have a car when we're there, and so we don't have to worry about like renting a car, how are we gonna get around. So like everything on the East Coast, like Brick Fair, Philly Brick Fest, Brick Fair Alabama, anything like that we drive to, because then it's just it's a day's drive and we can do it, and it's a lot simpler that way.
Wow.
And with two of us, like 2 plane tickets adds up quickly. It's always cheaper to drive as well.
Got you.
And we just throw all the equipment in the back of the car. Don't have to worry about space constraints for anything. So
your brother has been very on point with looking up things and doing things. So shout out to John once again, man. Doing a great job over there producing the stuff.
John is the one behind the scenes who's actually making everything run.
Right. I appreciate his efforts. And I'm gonna pretend that I can tell he's nodding behind the computer and saying thank you.
Was he actually for your 24-hour live stream back in December, I guess?
In November. It's always the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Got you. Was he actually there the whole 24 hours too, like keeping track of the stream and all that?
Not the whole time, no, but he does a lot of it. So, I mean, he does take some time to sleep and things like that, like a normal person. But he's in there a lot of it, keeping an eye on stuff and just making sure it's all running smoothly, which is helpful, yeah, because then I'm not worried about doing all of that in addition to building and working on the stream and everything.
Got you. Very nice.
Yeah, it works well since we can't work together at the conventions. Then we can work together online with the live streams.
Makes sense.
I want to shout out Jeff in the chat who just said that sleep is important. It is very, very important.
Was that Brian earlier saying he was?
Wait, what?
You said you were up to like 4 a.m. or something like that.
Oh no. That was that was the past week. Last week. It was just me and a few friends hanging out, social distance wise, and just being up until 4. And then my sleep schedule is always very inconsistent, to say the least. So
Golden Light.
Hey.
Oh, what's that, Boone?
Oh, I got to take off, you guys. Thank you so much. It's been a real blast.
No problem. Thanks for joining us. It's always
Thank
great to chat. Get the updates on Lego Masters. We're excited for the episode tomorrow. So
Can't wait.
Yeah,
There's gonna
should
be
be good.
Star Wars build.
Oh yeah, you will judge everyone's Star Wars build. Just know that we had one picture to look at.
Yeah, did they let you go on those tablets they give you? Did they let you look at go on the internet and look up things for reference?
No, not while we were building.
Uh-huh.
So basically they had like one picture, which you'll see the picture that we're referencing in the episode, and then they gave us like one clip off camera, like sort of one movie clip to sort of look at.
Wow. All right.
And then otherwise, so you'll see, because I mean, there's going to be things where you're going to be like, well, that's not accurate, or well, why'd you build that like that?
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
and that's part of the challenge. All of us had sort of the same handicap of like we had to do anything we from memory and whatnot. But
oh wow. Okay.
hopefully there'll be enough in the storytelling that it makes you proud. But I'm expecting that some there are going to be people who are going to be able to complain about something, but I think for the most part, Star Wars fans should find it enjoyable. I hope.
Alrighty then. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot, David. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Joshua. Yeah. Appreciate it, you guys. We will see you soon.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Boone.
www.boonebuilds.com.
Hey, there it is.
Bye-bye.
Have I not been been doing a good enough job making sure people give shout out their channels?
It should be on them. I feel like they're in the spotlight. They know.
There you go. I'm always happy for people to let folks know where they can check it out. But yeah, Boone has his own channel and his website, so definitely people can check that out if you haven't been following his Lego Masters content and everything he's been doing over there. Lots of good stuff. He's been doing some like build challenges. We'll see what eventually he'll be decapitating Mario.
Oh God.
Solid video idea. And to kind of cap off the initial question before the side tangent happened, we were talking about the set that we wish that Lego would make.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No. I like to talk, so I want to make sure other people talk and explain and expound. So Eli in the chat, frequent viewer of mine, assumed correctly with the Princess Peach's castle. However, I'm going to go with a second choice of mine that is not, I guess, unexpected, but just not that. In the 2017 game Super Mario Odyssey, there's a giant red top hat that Mario flies around from kingdom to kingdom in. And there's a giant hot air balloon above it and fills up the more moons you get in the game. So I would want that. And on the inside, it has all different knickknacks and trinkets from all the different kingdoms that you collect. And I would want to have all those stuffed in there. So you get Mario, Cappy, maybe Princess Peach, Bowser, whoever. So that would be the set, because I think between that set and Princess Peach's castle, I think Princess Peach's castle is more likely just based on it being a grandiose castle. But I'm going to go with the Odyssey. I think both will happen, but it's a matter of when. So that's my answer. Just in case anyone was itching in their boots, I know to find out, but just wanted to throw that out there. So
thank you for that. Yes, it's always good to know.
Yes. So I've been reluctant to start on the T-Rex portion of the dinosaurs here, but I'm tempted. We'll see.
Trying to figure out how this build all comes together. Yeah, these some weird builds with the old buildable figures. Some of this stuff.
So Josh, you're going to disassemble those eventually?
Yeah, so this is just kind of putting it together, just out of interest to see what it looks like done, and then also just see if all the pieces are there. And then I'll kind of put it back into chunks, take it apart a bit. Here's a bit of the lander.
Nice.
Figuring out all the legs. These some of these bricks are very old and rather discolored. It comes with this little like moon car.
Yeah.
There we go.
Apparently, according to let's see, Christopher in the chat, they took or removed the pre-orders for the Mario set, and going on the Lego website, apparently there's no button to pre-order. I don't know if you could pre-order on any other website, but I'm not seeing anything to pre-order on here. So either they sold out or they were like, never mind. Oops.
I don't think they would sell out that quickly.
So I would like to think these sets are already done in box, ready to go if they have official pictures and it's made and like done, or it's in the process of being packaged right now. So maybe Nintendo has a far reach compared to Lego. So maybe a lot of people from the gaming realm are like, oh, okay, I'll pre-order it and whatever. I don't know. But that is odd. I'd be curious to see if anything from Target is sold out or pre-ordered. If you can pre-order it there, I don't know.
Interesting. Well, I was going to talk about this earlier, but it's interesting. This is the year of pre-orders on Lego.com. I know.
Yeah.
I think the first time they ever did pre-orders was for the Lego Overwatch sets about a year and a half ago. That was the first time I ever saw them do pre-orders. And ever since then, I guess pre-orders work for them very well, but they are starting to do that with a lot of sets now.
Yeah, I think it's good for them to tell what the first initial wave of things is going to be, what the demand is going to be. And apparently on Target, you can pre-order it still. So there goes that one. But so, it works with video games all the time. You pre-order something even before it has a release date or, the final title of the game or what the game is even going to be. So why not have that for Lego? At least they have official images and price point and release date. It has been funny specifically for the Mario stuff, seeing all these gaming outlets reporting on this stuff. And, well, that's convenient that Andres is in New York as we speak at the Nintendo store. Holy jeez.
Here we go. Good evening, everybody. I have to mention my Wi-Fi is a mess. So that's why I stopped streaming here for a few days. But I think it's fine for YouTube. Live stream here on the break.
You're good. You're good. We can hear you loud and clear. The audio matters more than the video, so you're good.
Okay, the audio is good. The images are most time not good here, but it's so good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Yes, good. Thanks for joining us here. We're 2.5 hours in, so you got in before the end of the stream here, Andreas.
Oh, perfect. You're ending right now?
No, we still got probably half an hour or so left.
The wheels are still on the cart.
It's perfect. So good to see Brix O'Brien again, and it's good to see David.
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. We haven't met.
So you can explain, Andreas, briefly, since you've never met David, what it is you do.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, normally I'm blogging all the time, but right now I brought my kids to bed. No, I have a German Lego news blog about Lego.
Okay.
And I'm doing some stuff on YouTube as well.
Gotcha.
And I'm a big fan of Bowser here, as you can probably see.
Yeah. Is that 3D or is that like a poster?
No, it's I fell in love with the whole
I see.
green screen thing.
He's been really getting very experimental with the green screen.
It is awesome stuff. So I bought the full version of StreamYard, and I thought it's so much fun to add some images, but the lighting is not good. Just to explain the viewers, I'm not in my office in Hamburg. I'm at the East Coast in a little house here, and the Wi-Fi is really bad. So I will do more improvement in my office soon, and then I have more fun with this green screen option. But right now, to do this, I haven't any green screen here, so I'm using bags.
There you go.
Perfect.
I wanted to address JK IRL has been asking. I've seen he's asked in the chat a few times. So I feel like this is a good opportunity to clear up some things related to the Lego Ambassador Network. So he asks, David, is there any conflict between you being in the Lego Ambassador Network and also selling aftermarket Lego? So I don't know if he's referring to like sets or like custom things or not. But I think there's this big misconception with the Lego Ambassador Network that sort of Lego has like a really tight hold on what people do if you're in there. And honestly, it's quite opposite of that. So there isn't a ton of rules that come along with that, or like you all of a sudden, if you join the Ambassador Network, you have to stop, making custom Lego things or selling them or doing any number of activities. They really don't care for the most part. The biggest thing is leaks. If you aren't leaking things, then they really don't care. And then also they like when people report, like if you do something with a set they send out or something, the reporting things is a big deal. But I feel like based on conversations I've had with other people, there's sort of this misconception about the way that the Ambassador Network operates and Lego's relationship with people on there as being this very like rules intensive thing where you have to immediately stop doing like all other activities if you want to join or something. I don't know, maybe that's just my perspective, but I feel like that's kind of been the way that some people have approached it.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. In Germany, we have some discussions as well, because there are only 2 recognized Lego fan media out there. So there's another YouTube channel and myself, and some have left, or I think it's not a good thing. I have to say, I wrote about other things in the past as well. For example, about smartphones. Before I actually start my Lego blog, Lego was always a part of my writing career. But, when you leak stuff, for example, and publish any images, I mean, the companies will send you emails as well. So if it's, just about leaks, okay, we can discuss about that, but it's totally fine if you get any information, have an embargo, for example. So this is not only something related to the Ambassador Network, it's when you write for anything, when there's any sport news, any technical news, you get information and they will send you an embargo. So this is actually the only thing. Beside that, I'm there for 4 years now, I think, 4 years, yeah. And there was never any conflict. I just write what I think about Lego. If it's a good thing, I say, hey, it's awesome. If it's bad, I write it's bad. And when we are getting any copy, I write about it, always give my own opinion about the set or my colleagues. So I don't think there's any trouble. But I can understand that some people think, oh, it's not a good thing because you're not independent anymore. I, for myself, can just say, I think I mentioned it last week, I'm a big Lego fan. So this is something really good to me, to be in this network, to meet many people who write in America, in Australia, and many other countries. So I think it's a good networking place as well. So I'm fine with the Lego Ambassador Network.
There you go. I think that sums it up nicely. I also, Crafting Minds asked, how does one become an ambassador? And do you get free sets? So Lego does send out sets occasionally, depending on the theme and everything. They'll send stuff out for review. So that's how, a lot of people, if you watch Beyond the Brick, you'll see like Mike or Boone or various contributors who have a set early and are doing a review of it. That's how they got it, is because Lego sends it to them. And then as far as becoming an ambassador, so that's either you're the like head of a Lego user group, and then the people in the group kind of decide you're going to be the ambassador, or in our case, if you're like a fan media, like what Beyond the Brick is, then it's just basically whoever runs the website or whatever it is kind of is the ambassador by default. Or Andreas, actually, in your case, you assign someone else, so you are not the ambassador for your site.
Yes. Correct? There have been, I would say, some conflicts because of that. I have to be honest here, because I'm feeling I'm the ambassador of my website, and this is something I do. I have this blog run this for a living, so write articles every day and publishing videos also. And I thought it's a good thing that there is a friend out there who is the ambassador, so he will give me all the information I need. He will answer all the questions or the topics in the Ambassador Network. So I was there for, I think, one year. And it was a good thing, but I think now the solution is even better. That there's a friend of mine, the ambassador, who's actually in the forum and answering to questions related to my website, and he will send me all the information we get from Lego over time. So yeah, I have been an ambassador for the ambassador network, but now I'm kind of the ambassador of my own website, and yeah, it's a good way, I think.
Right, it works well to kind of differentiate that, because doing stuff on the Lego Ambassador now on the LAN is like I said, reports and kind of the paperwork and everything they want you to do. That's kind of a whole nother thing from the actual site that you might be running. And so if you can have somebody else that takes care of that part of it, then like you said, you focus on running the site.
I mean, there's a lot of discussion going on, and it's always the same thing, of course. If there's a leak, you blame somebody, or if there any news is out there which shouldn't it's late, I'm sorry, which shouldn't be out there. So for me, it's always good just to get the information and write about it, and don't have the discussions on network, because I'm answering a lot of comments on my website also. So it's a good thing, I think, that there's somebody, the ambassador, and actually not involved in the writing process, so the daily work.
And then let's see, we got another question wondering, so we were showing the some of our old videos from years ago here from our very early days, and so I've got this Legoland California shirt on right now, and someone was asking here, is it a throwback to the old orange Legoland Florida shirt that I had on in those early videos? I hadn't thought of it that way, but I think that's a good interpretation. I like the way you think, so it sort of is. But actually, this shirt, funny enough, we picked up when me and my whole family went like 15 or so years ago to Legoland California, and I think this was my dad's shirt that he got, and now it fits me, so it works well. This is a very high quality shirt because it's lasted all these years. So shout out to Legoland California and their merch store.
High quality. The funny thing is, I have some shirts too. I'm, older than you're. I'm 29 now, and what I can say, some shirts are around for 20 years and they're still fine. But there's one funny story I have to share. I'm always buying T-shirts at the Hard Rock shop, Hard Rock Cafe, and every quality is fine, beside the one I bought in the city I live in, Hamburg. So sometimes it's weird that you go out and buy stuff. So I mean, but I have some Lego shirts as well, which are still good after many years. So it's a good sign.
Yes, it's nice to have good quality Lego shirts. These live streams will give me lots of opportunity to wear all the Lego shirts that normally just sit in my closet.
But Joshua, may I ask you something?
Yes.
Besides the quality and the Lego and what do you think of my new green screen experience here? What do you think of Bowser?
I love it.
It's definitely better than last week when you joined in a white t-shirt with a white background.
Yes, that's why I did this. You mentioned my white wall, and you were so bored, and you told me what a mess. But I brought Bowser this time, yeah. So it's a good thing.
Your hair looks a little spotty, but that's fine.
Yes, and a friend told me that's the problem in general, and my hair is terrible for the green screen. But funny is, since I read about it and I saw a few things on television, there is some green areas as well. It's funny because now I know of, but again, the lighting is not good here. If you have really like flashlights and stuff, should be better next time. So the quality will be much higher the next week. I mean, we have 2 years to go.
Wow, you're really taking an optimistic approach to the whole situation there, Andreas.
Yeah, I'm reading too much articles. I'm really sorry, but I have to say, maybe you already talked about it. I saw your really great video with the showrunner of the Chicago Brick World,
Mark Larson. Yeah,
it was really interesting to listen. And I published an article about their new idea to have a convention out there just digital, which is a good thing. I think nice ideas to manage the whole situation.
Virtual Con is what he's calling it.
All right.
We did
Virtual convention. Yeah.
mention it again. If people have not seen our interview with Mark Larson, who runs the Brickworld shows, we just did that yesterday. You can check out that video. He talks about the plan for all of the different Brickworld shows, Brickworld Chicago in particular, and then also explains the new virtual con that they're starting up for the first time. So Saturday, April 18th, as you can see, producer John is doing a good job pulling up the Brickworld website. You can also find more info over there on their website. But yeah, it's a $5. You'll get access to a bunch of different Zoom rooms where people will be showing off different creations. You'll have a great ball contraption in there. There'll be a number of different, I believe he said some of the Lego Masters, I know at least Boone, I believe, and maybe some of the other ones. Sam and Jessica, I want to say, will be there talking about different stuff. So, you know, all sorts of fun activities going on. There's the schedule it's showing right now. Steve Hassenplug will have his Robo Rally, which if people haven't seen that before, is a really cool, very interactive setup that he does. So there's some neat things they're trying out. They're having vendors. I'm not really sure how the vendors will work and what exactly their role will be, but
It's gonna be like QVC or you know, those type of channels.
yeah, that'd actually be hilarious where they get somebody with like a table full of products.
Just to like have the product and be like, this is our new brick sets.
Here's
Yeah.
Abby Dabbles and Eclipse Graphics. We have the new.
I would laugh.
You're
so
on to
much
something there, David. Yeah.
I mean, beside all the serious issues we have in the world right now, I could really cry when I think about it that I would have been there in June. I mean, I understand what the runner was telling, that it's possible that the show will be out there, but they won't let me into your country in June.
Yeah, that's the thing for international guests is the chance that the show runs, but they're still doing things like not letting international people in. So,
Yeah.
But Andreas, you know, hopefully we'll still see you.
I'm crying. No, we will see. For example, there's a rule in Denmark. There is no exhibition till the end of August, at least, for example. So Denmark is really fast in giving orders and giving ideas what's next. Germany is still unclear. There's going to be a big press conference next week where they explain what is going on. I mean, yeah, we don't want to talk too serious here, but you know, I was really happy to see you all again in June. And first time for me would have been visit the Brick World in Chicago. So this, for me at least, won't happen this year because, there are some discussions that if somebody will come to Germany, you have to stay 2 weeks in a little room with a little window. So we will see. I mean, but I wish you all the best, and I hope that you can cover the show and that the show will be there. Otherwise, I mean, could be maybe that they switch the date. This could be a chance for me, but I don't think of me. I think of all the people and all the builders who would like to show their lovely creations. So I hope that the Brick World will happen in June for you all.
That's the goal right now. I like Brian, how you're interacting with everyone in the chat there. They don't.
It's really funny because I think David isn't here. This is just a loop because he's not talking. I think this is just a loop. You enter because you know he's so famous. You just gave him like $10 that there's a loop, and I think.
We give him $10 if we loop the same over and over again.
Oh my god!
On mute the whole time. You can't hear him.
Man. I hope Brick World happens because I already bought my plane ticket. I dropped I think it was close to $400 on the plane ticket, and I remember sitting at my desk, and I bought it in February, and I was like, "There's this insurance or whatever you can get to, something happens and you have to cancel the flight." You get your money back, and I didn't do it. I was sitting there thinking about it for 30 minutes. Should I do this? Nah, it's totally gonna happen.
I got some news for you, man. I don't know.
I don't know either, man. I'm gonna lose that plane ticket money. I'm gonna be upset because this would be my first year if it does happen on time. This would be my first Brick World Chicago that I go to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've really been to that.
Sure, you had been to Brick World in the past.
What's that? No,
I'm sure you had been to Brick World in the past. I guess.
I've been to all the brick fairs. So
okay.
I've been to all the brick fairs, but I actually do you remember a convention called Brick Magic in North Carolina? I went to that one.
Yes, I never went there, but I remember when that happened. That was a Joe Mino event, right?
Yeah, they only did it for like 2 years, but I really enjoyed that convention. But yeah, I've never been to any Brick World, none of them.
So Joe Mino of Brick World or Brick Journal fame, the magazine. So people have been around. The magazine's been around a very long time.
Joe for putting on. I thought Brick Magic was pretty fun. It was a very small Lego convention. It was only like one giant room at a hotel, but it was still fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's something to be said for the smaller shows as well. You know, as great as like Brick Fair Virginia and Brick World Chicago are, they're very overwhelming also when you feel like there's so many people to see. So that's what I like. We kind of alternate, you know, between the big shows, and then some of the smaller ones are nice for us because then we can go in, we feel like we can cover everything reasonably well and chat with people and stuff and not just go like completely crazy trying to have so many builds to cover.
I got you. Andreas, I think the first time I saw a video of you was it was your interview with the designer for the Technic Libar set, the excavator set, I think from last year. And I was just so in awe of that set, and I was like, oh man, I was looking at the interview and like just being like, all right, I was waiting for him to ask like all these questions that I was thinking in my head.
Yeah, it's always tricky, you know, because I mean, I live near Billund. It's like 3 hours away, 3 hours drive. So it's always good to be there.
Gotcha.
And of course, it's always fun to talk to Lego designers like Joshua did in the past as well. But it's funny because I get always this response, why didn't you ask this question? Or why haven't you asked this? Always, because most times you have like maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And it's, you know, and then, I mean, for me, it's always important that I really ask the things I would love to know, because this is then authentic and the people see, okay, he's really asking the stuff, he's into it. Mm-hmm. And then I try to ask, of course, things some readers told me. But yeah, next time I'm in Billund and talk to some Star Wars or technical designer, just reach out to me and I will ask one question for David. But you've actually met Lego designers as well, right?
Yeah, I've met
Comic-Con. I've met
a few Lego designers actually. Now I think about it, I've met one from the Overwatch team, two from the Star Wars team, and then I've met Jamie Berard. I met him once actually when he went to Brick Fair, Virginia years ago. I think that was all the way back in like
that was a long time ago,
2011. But yeah, that was a long time ago.
But it's always easy to see Jamie Berard because there's always this spotlight on him.
Oh my God!
So when Jamie Berard is entering a room,
oh my God!
Nobody's talking. It's like the man is in the room. You know, it's like it's actually funny because I think I've told the story like 4 times, but we are here and we have some time to kill. The first Lego employee I ever met was Jan Bayer.
Mm-hmm.
It was at Scareback Fan Weekend, I think nearly 6 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, hey, Jan, it's so good to see you. And we finally met. And, you know, some stories I've heard that there are some Lego designers around here all the time in Scareback. And he told me, yeah, of course, right there's Jamie. And I turned around and there was Jamie Berard. So he was the first Lego designer I've ever met. And the first question I asked, of course, hey, Jamie, so good to see you. Can we talk later on and do an interview? Mm-hmm. And his reaction was, yeah, sure. So that's the moment where you realize, okay, I met him and yeah, we're sitting outside talking for 20 minutes. And yeah, since then, I don't know, I've met him a few times and he's such a great guy. And it's always
an outgoing personality.
It's always good when you know that there is still some parts and some models he is responsible for. So he's, of course, the design lead. But when you think of a
bigger role at Lego, so do you know if he designs any more sets? I know he like leads teams to design sets, but does he ever design them anymore himself?
Yes, this is a funny story because he's the leader of architecture now and a creative expert, and he was also the lead of the Stranger Things Upside Down set last year.
Oh wow!
But he told me, actually, one other designer told me. Then I asked Jamie, and he told me, yeah, it's true. He did most of the corner garage.
Really?
So the whole basement, the whole area was Jamie. So the whole entrance and the gas station. So this is really Jamie's work because they were thinking, okay, what will we do? And I mean, most modulars, many people are working on it.
Mhm.
And as we all know, Jamie did the Parisian Restaurant and many great modulars in the past.
Mhm.
But he was really doing the whole, not the whole, but most of the basement and the gas station and the color scheme, which was awesome and lovely. So yeah, he was really heavily involved in this one. And
How much do you guys think that, like, how much would you bet, I guess? Would you bet on the fact that the Parisian Restaurant will one day be at value similar to like the Green Grocer or the Cafe Corner? Like, obviously it seems far away because it just retired last year, but do you think it'll ever get to that point?
I think so, because it's, for me, not only my personal favorite modular building of all times, but so many people are telling the story. I mean, this is the perfect modular building. It's outstanding still, and yeah, I have the feeling there are still new collectors out there who would like to have every modular. And Parisian Restaurant was out there, I think, for 6 years nearly,
Mhm.
and many people bought it, of course. But I mean, there got to be new collectors out there, and they're willing to spend a lot of money because it's such a beauty. So we will see, but it's possible in maybe 7 or 8 years.
Joshua, what do you think?
I don't, it's very hard to predict. I know, yeah, some of those modulars have done very well. With the Parisian Restaurant, well, I don't follow it too closely with those modular releases. Was that really kind of well respected among the community, and is that seen as one of the better ones?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it just got a nice look to it, and then I think the build was actually pretty solid. I built it last year, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh man, this is a nice Lego set. That was
Which one? I'm sorry, I was just checking some comments. which
The
set?
Parisian Restaurant.
Ah, yeah. Okay, sorry, still there. Okay.
Brian, any thoughts?
I don't really have an opinion. I really only gravitate toward a few of the modulars.
Mhm.
So for me to predict any one of them in particular being any higher in value, it's skewed for me. I wouldn't have thought the town hall would have been as sought after now that it's retired.
Mhm.
So I have no ground to stand on what I think would be popular after the fact or not. I mean, one of my favorites is the theater, which I don't think is incredibly expensive in the aftermarket. Like, you know, Green Grocer, of course, not to that level, but I think it has to do with, you know, those older modulars. It wasn't as established as a thing as it is now. So I think people know that, all right, this is going to be the set for the year. It is going to retire, and it's going to have something that comes after it. So now people know, all right, well, if I want this, I better get it. Green Grocer, it had that particular color that people really, really want, and it was a different time back then. So it's hard to say if any one of them now is going to, you know, have a higher aftermarket value. And especially with the quality of the sets increasing over time. Like, I noticed a big difference in design style when it shifted from the pet shop to, I think it was the Parisian.
Mhm.
Like the color schemes, the building style, everything about it shifted. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, anything before the pet shop and before, I'm just going to wipe clean off the table. And whatever comes out after this, not only will I save money by not getting the older sets, but they're more cohesive as a block, you know, just like different. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe that's just me, but I just stick with that mindset, and anything before it, I'm like,
Mhm.
whatever. So it's tough to say.
Gotcha.
The town hall, there's another kind of funny story I can share here, because I bought it at the aftermarket because I missed it and it was gone. It was a surprise that it was gone very, very quick. And the pet shop was still out there. So I bought the town hall at eBay. And 1 year later, and I bought maybe some rails, 9-volt rails, and this building. I haven't bought anything else on eBay Lego related. And 1 year later, there was an article in the newspaper about my website. So Lego blogger in Hamburg and you know, it was of course good for me to see that there's a story out there. And a friend of mine sent me the link of the Facebook post of the newspaper. And the first comment have been, oh, I know this strange guy. He bought the town hall. so he was the seller on eBay. So this is kind of the small world thing. Yeah, and I bought a second town hall because I was in the Legoland at the opening day for the new Ninjago world. I think it has been. No, it was the big X-wing, which has been first Times Square and then Legoland Billund. And when I get there, first day after the opening in March, the town hall was there. So I bought a second one for the regular price. Yeah, that's my town hall story. But Brian, I mean, if you're really into modulars, you have to buy every modular.
It's a lot of money, man. So like
a lot of money.
Yeah,
I think I have the corner garage, Parisian restaurant, and the bookshop. The 3.
Yeah, I mean, I just stick with my mentality. It just saves me energy and money. So, but you're right. You're right. If you really want to go all out and love them.
What do you got there, David?
I just finished building the what is the set even called? I didn't even look at it. The Paranormal Intercept Buzz 3000. What a name! Oh man. But overall, it's actually a pretty solid set. I like the build. I just like the fact that it's a pimped out school bus. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
You got the rockets on the back. This whole back part opens up. I don't want to because I just put all the miscellaneous pieces in there, but got a little radar dish up here. I don't even know what this is, like a cannon. And then on both sides opens up like that. So very cool. Solid set. This is probably my favorite out of the wave. Just by I've only built like one other hidden side set. And I mean, just by looking at the other sets, I think this is the most appealing because I don't know. I feel like people would enjoy this set, especially kids, but I also think adults would also enjoy it. But hey, you get a, what do you call it? Teal brick separator. Yeah. So you get
they got the new brick separator colors going. Well, that works well. And we've just hit the 3-hour mark. So I think we'll be finishing out here soon. That's a good way to finish out the stream. Yeah. That's that there. I've got my space, very old space set all together here. So it's been a great stream, everyone. Thank you to everyone who joined us. Thank you, Brian, for sticking it out. David, for being with us the whole time. Andreas, I'm glad you could join here towards the end with your wonderful background. It fits the theme. Because any stream Brian's on is a Nintendo stream.
That way.
I'm gonna have to come to you if I have questions about these new Mario sets, Brian.
Say it again.
I'm gonna have to come to you if I have questions like, all right, what does this do? What does this represent about Nintendo sets?
All the questions into the Twitter and Instagram DMs. I'm ready.
Anytime I have a Nintendo question, it's either Brian or Kevin Hinkle, and one of them it just fills me in. And I always have a lot of questions, so they're always willing to help. So if anyone needs their questions answered,
yeah. If you wake up in a cold sweat at 4 a.m. and you have a question, message me. It's fine.
Everybody, please stay safe. And it was an honor to be back at your stream. Have a great evening and a great day.
Yes, thank you so much to everyone who watched. If you just joined us recently, we do this at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday every week. Brian and I will be back here. Various people joining in every week, so who knows who we'll have next week, but it's always a fun time. Hopefully some good entertainment for folks watching from home. And make sure, you check out, we were talking with David about some of the stuff he's been doing. If you haven't watched David's content, head on over to Solid Brix Studios. You can see his massive build that's coming together there. I think it's going to be, when did you say is the final?
I'm aiming for Star Wars Day, which is May the 4th. Okay. So I'm trying to get it done by then.
There we go. So good thing to look forward to for your May the 4th celebrations this year. You can see the finished massive build, and hopefully you can bring that out to a show like Brick Fair or something if shows start happening. Maybe I
don't know. I don't have any plans to move it because I did not make it modular.
Oh, I see.
So unfortunately, it might be staying at the house.
Just squeeze it through the door. You'll figure it out.
It's a little bigger than the door.
That's okay. We understand. And then on Andreas, you as always, go check out Zazumgabat for all of your German articles if that's what you're looking for.
You can translate to English. It's fine.
And
the translate button.
Brian, before we sign off, you can remind people on where they can find you outside of Beyond the Brick live streams, what you're doing.
Well, you can go to twitch.tv/Brix O'Brien for live streaming shenanigans. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, AOL, AIM, wherever you want to find me. I'm probably there.
His LinkedIn is where his best content is at.
That's where I need endorsements because, who knows what jobs I'll need. So anywhere you can find me, except I'm not going to be under your bed. I'm not a monster. So there we go. There it is.
I'm gonna hit the follow button right now.
Boom.
There you go.
Hit that bell, subscribe, turn on the alerts.
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Yeah, so now you can slide in the DMs with the Mario questions. That's nice. I see it.
And may I just answer one question? How do you find Enris channel? So you just have to enter zusammengebaut YouTube.
Yeah.
Next time I will add the word right next to my name. So everybody have a great day.
There we go.
Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.